Brown-haired albino was unbuttoning his coat, his eyes on Cermak, who was shaking hands with Roosevelt.
Well, it's wonderful to see you, Tony. A lovely gesture.
I just wanted to remind you and your administration that you have my full and enthusiastic support.
The albino assassin was reaching under his coat, but I grabbed his arm and pulled it away, and his hand came back empty, the gun still under his arm as his coat flapped. I buried a fist in his belly and doubled him over. And when he came up, the snout of my 9mm stared him in the face.
You got you this time, fucker!
Sounded like firecrackers, and the muzzle flash above the crowd looked like fireworks, but this was something else. Blurred figures in the crowd were falling, and a stubby, bushy-haired brown little man in a white shirt standing up on a bench was swarmed like a come-to-Jesus meeting got out of hand. Meanwhile, the ex-blonde was pulling away, and I swung at him, and he went down, unconscious, as the mass of people around us were heading to my right. I moved against the tide towards Cermak, pushing, shoving, and got to that touring car where Miller and Lang were crouched over the fallen Cermak, red spreading from his left side under his unbuttoned suit coat.
Where? Where were the goddamn bodyguards?
I had the blonde, Your Honor. He didn't fire the round. Some bushy-haired little creep.
This was no time to tell him he'd been shot by his son-in-law's gardener.
What the hell? They got me after all, Heller.
The crowd was turning into a mob. Miller, Lang, and I were hovering over Cermak in the quiet of the storm.
Heller, get your people out of the way. We need to move the president and his vehicle out of here.
For Christ's sakes, Cermak's been shot. Take him with you. Get him to a hospital.
Roosevelt, sitting in back, heard me.
Put Tony in here and get us the hell out.
The shooter's big revolver was clicking on an empty chamber now. But that must have had an 8-round rod, as I found myself on a battlefield where bleeding audience members wandered like wounded warriors, helped by their dazed loved ones.
I'm Mr. Grove from Pretoria. Is everything all right? People talk, say things.
Hello? Why didn't you tell me it was out of order? I suppose you think that's funny.
I'm not allowed out the front door.
Who says you weren't?
Them.
Who?
Them.
It was terrible out there. I could hear breathing.
We told you.
Are you worried about the man?
They hate us. That's the truth. They want to kill and torture every one of us. You can see it in their eyes.
Come now, Frederick. Do you dream about unholy things?
I really don't like what's going on here. There's something wrong, and that's a fact.
Wait. What did you dream last night? This manifestation of evil. You must be delivered from evil.
Although edited for television, tonight's thriller contains scenes of suspense and violence which may be unsuitable for young viewers. Parental discretion is advised.
Hey, Let's Get Media. No, Let's Get Physical Media? Okay, that's a funny name. Okay, I'm Breck. I directed The Crazies, and I'm really excited that we're coming to physical media with a new HDR transfer this spring. Check it out. All right. Hey, Let's Get Physical Media. I'm so glad there are fans of actually buying DVDs out there. I'm really excited that Crazies will be coming with a new HDR transfer to physical media, to 4K and HDR, ready to show you guys. So check it out. That was terrible. Hey, Let's Get Physical Media. So happy that there are fans of the Crazies out there and fans that are going to buy the physical disc. We're doing a new HDR transfer, which I'm thrilled to be putting out there, and I hope you guys will check it out.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Pharaoh of Physical Media, and, you know, the man of many other nicknames, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm here for Let's Get Physical Media episode like 204. But, you know, it's not a show just with me. And I'm not the only person that opines in that way. There are other people that believe that it's not a show just without me. And we've got one coming to us all the way from Montreal to tell us why this show is special and what makes it as great as it is. Please give a warm welcome. Put your hands together. I want to hear it all the way here in California for Castle Grayskull. Grace, how are you?
I am okay. How are you, Mr. Burnett?
Well, I'm good, and it's nice to see your lovely face here on Let's Get Physical Media here on this Sunday morning for me. But obviously, you're in the time zone 3 hours ahead in Montreal.
Absolutely. So, bonjour à tous. Hello, everybody, and ciao a tutti. And I'd like to just send a little special shout out to my bassist, Major Chai Chai, for encouraging me to be on this program as well. So a nice big shout out to her and to everybody that's been so absolutely fantastic and welcoming. So yes, so coming to you live from Montreal, Canada. And I would like to welcome everyone to Let's Get Castle Grayskull Media. Oh, sorry, I meant Let's Get Physical
Media. Wait a
Media.
minute, what?
And so anyways, I would like to introduce you to the two hosts with the most charisma, obviously. So all the way from Los Angeles, California, I'd like to welcome Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett.
Well, hello there. It's Grace. Thank you for that lovely intro. It's great to see you. You've really classed up the joint. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I hope everybody likes the hair color because this is just as natural as I can ever be. So yes, so now we are here for the special introduction. So here we go. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. So I would like to send a special big shout out and a big hello, and let's everyone welcome all the way live from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Here is Mr. Dieter Bastian.
All right. Well done, Grace.
Rob, normally I get very excited when you introduce me, but now I got really jibbly about it. So thank you, Grace, and I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here, I am rocking like Eric, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. And while Ozzy did his last concert yesterday, I still hope we have some more episodes left for you in the tank. So, Grace, thank you again for introducing me. So, bonsoir, madam.
Grace, you did a fine job. I invite you to hang out all day right here where you are because I'm going to randomly cut to you and ask you inappropriate questions.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay.
So be ready for that. Not very inappropriate because I don't want to get canceled, but inappropriate for me, which really actually that's not very reassuring. So here we are. It's Let's Get Physical Media. It's on a holiday weekend here in the United States where we celebrate our declining democracy and lack of freedom. And of course, they've dismantled in their wise wisdom. They're destroying research and hey. We had a huge flood in Texas. Many people lost their lives. Shout out to our friends in Texas. Those floods are terrible. And by the way, there's a reason why we have a weather service. It's important. I understand people don't want to deal with climate change or whatever, but it's real. Just saying.
It is, Rob. It is. Luckily, the temperature's getting down here a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to do the show. And Rob, last week, you asked me about my projections for Jurassic World Rebirth. And I said, for the 3-day total domestic, about 100. Was I right or was I far off, Rob, considering Jurassic World Rebirth at the box office?
I can tell you about that. And let's check. Okay. Let's check in with our friends at Deadline.
Is the franchise still bulletproof?
Do you want to start with global? Or do you want to hang on? I have to turn my fan is bothering me.
I leave that to you.
All right. Well, let's start with we'll start with domestic.
Okay.
Here we go.
Since you had the longer weekend with the 4th of July coming in.
Yes, Anthony D'Alessandro. Let's see what we got. It's the headline here is Jurassic World Rebirth, or as I like to say, Refund. Dinosaur gets bigger with $36 million on Saturday. The 5-day opening here domestically in the United States is, Dieter, it's $147 million.
Okay.
$147 million. And now, look, I might not have liked this movie, but you know what? As I always say, you can't go wrong with dinosaurs eating people. What do we know? We know that kids love dinosaurs eating people, and close to that, they like intelligent apes on horseback with rifles shooting people. And I, of course, like ninjas. And you can never go wrong with any one of those things in a movie. So we have at number 1, Jurassic World Rebirth domestically, $147.3 million. In its second week, it dropped 54%. We've got F1 has crossed. It's $109.5 million domestic. That is a great showing. Once again, Warner Brothers, Pam Abdi, and Mike DeLuca, they're distributing for Apple. Great result. How to Train Your Dragon is now up to $224 million domestic. Elio, $55 million, pretty anemic for Pixar, too bad. 28 days later, $60.2 million domestic. Lilo and Stitch is now passing $408.5 million. Megan 2.0, which, what a disappointment, $18.55 million. Yeah. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is at domestic $191.1 million. The Materialists is at $33.5 million. And coming in at number 10 for you, Dieter, because it goes to, this is number 10, but it should go to 11. This is Spinal Tap. The re-release made $931K this weekend. Nice. We've got Spinal Tap coming too, because remember, Big Bottom, My Girl's Got One. How can you leave this behind? So, Dynamite, we're going into the internationals. Jurassic World Rebirth bows to $318.3 million global in Universal's biggest studio to date. F1 nears $300 million, and Dragon tops $500 million. The box office is roaring, whether it's with dinosaurs, whether it's with the engines of an F1 car, or whether it's with the cries of a dragon. Money is being made all over the world. Movies are back, not that they ever left, but hey. So here you go.
And even without the IMAX screens, Rob, considering Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even have IMAX screens.
So there we go. There's a ton, ton going on. You know what? Turning off my fan here was a mistake. Otherwise, I will melt like the witch from Wizard of Oz. So you're going to have to deal with that little buzz. Anyway, so let me ask Castle Grayskull. Castle Grayskull, what do you think of the box office? Have you seen Have you seen F1? Have you seen How to Train Your Dragon? Have you seen Jurassic Park Refund? Jurassic World Refund?
Well, wasn't a really big fan of dinosaurs anyways, so it just when I remember
okay, that's all we need to hear from Castle Grayskull. Not a big fan of dinosaurs. Come on, no. How can you not be a big fan of dinosaurs? You can't be okay, wait, I'll let her speak her piece. You say your truth, Grace.
It's
what's your dino truth?
When I was a little younger, I went to the theaters actually to watch the first Jurassic World. And honestly, I just got, it was the first time that I was going into a theater and they had that surround sound. And honestly, I just got petrified during the whole movie. You can feel it. You can feel those dinosaurs. You can't see them. And it's when they're just in front of you, you're ah, everybody's screaming in the theater. So I was a little bit traumatized by that. The same way that I was traumatized by Jaws. I mean, not being able to take a bath anymore after that because I thought that was a shark that was going to come out from the bathtub. But anyways, that's besides the point. I really haven't seen anything in the theaters recently, but I will definitely go and watch. Superman is coming up, so I definitely would like to watch that because I used to watch it when I was the other ones when I was a little bit younger, and definitely Fantastic Four. So that's in my orbit for this month. And and I happened to catch Final Destination Bloodlines, which was really awesome. And the Thunderbolts I really enjoyed. So
that's good.
Hey, why not,
Good taste. Dieter and I have a recommendation for you, and it's in French. It's a movie called Martyrs.
Yeah.
I'm
certainly.
telling you, it's a religious treatise on hope.
A careful recommendation.
No, you're gonna love it.
Going blind.
It's a French classic.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh no French lessons, no. So Dietz, what did you watch this week?
Yeah.
What did you watch?
What did I watch this week? As first, Rob, considering Jurassic World Rebirth, while after hearing the Bad Canadian Kid and you dump on the movie, and I already had zero
Did we dump
interest
on the movie?
in it, but at least I bought the steelbook for the first three, Rob. Even if I already own the 4Ks in another collection.
All right.
But I love the steelbook, a little bit embossed here, the logo here, at the bottom. But the discs are housed over each other, so you have the 3 Blu-rays and the 3 new 4Ks with Dolby Atmos track now. So the first 3, because I'm a fan of the sequel. I don't know what people have against the sequel. And Rob, I have, like you said, what have you seen, Dietz? I have seen good movies this week, Rob. The first one, where do I have it? This way. I have to scroll. This way. From the Raka Raka Boys. Finally, I got to see Bring Her Back.
Another lovely, uplifting film that really makes you feel good about your life.
Yeah. It totally was the evidence for me that Talk to Me was not a one-off. They did it again.
Yeah.
Totally awesome movie. Totally loved it. Of course, buy it. Considering the casting was great again. New faces besides Sally Hawkins. But for me, considering how the story evolved, again, the sound design was awesome. This is the second hit for me from them. So it's Raka Raka versus Stuckman 2.0. So Stuckman, the ball is still in your court. You will wait if you can at least get the 2-1, you know? So Bring Her Back, totally awesome for me. Then, this one, I got a review from Mark Kermit and totally looked right up my alley. And a colleague of his called this movie the Scottish samurai movie that we didn't know we needed.
Wow.
The movie is called Tornado. And for me, totally awesome movie because it all plays on location. You have no green screen and stuff. But you shouldn't expect a martial arts epic. It's more actually a little bit of a slow burn. Tim Roth is playing the bad guy. He's after our girl who's called Tornado and had a really great time with it. Will not tell you too much. They're after this girl and totally had a good time with Tornado.
It's not Scottish, it's
like
crap.
Quote said, like Quote said, it totally fits the Scottish samurai movie that you didn't know you needed. Then on Wednesday, I watched the Old Guard, Old Guard 2, because I remember, I totally forgot that the first one was already 5 years back in 2020. And I remember having a good time with the first one, and I even quite enjoyed the second one, considering building on the lore of stuff, but I was, of course, disappointed that the movie is unfinished. No, we need a part 3 because they just left it open. So I was, we're finished here at that point. The action was a little bit, like the streaming movies are these days, CGI, green screen stuff. So I was not too thrilled with the action, but I quite actually enjoyed how they built on the lore, because Old Guard is based on a graphic novel. So I'm not too hard on the show as many others were. Rob, I haven't finished it, but unlike you, I listened to you when you said, Dietz, I have a recommendation. I started on Netflix the anime show that you recommended, Pluto. But I'm only 3 episodes in. Totally great. Loved it. I was a little bit surprised because anime shows, I'm always used to being 23 minutes. You got a recap. But this is a little bit different. Every single episode is almost an hour. And even the first one is almost 90 minutes. So I hope it is almost like a limited series, hopefully finished. And like Rob said, it is a little bit bizarre. It plays a little bit in the Swiss, with German wording, Polizei, police, and even the main lead here in the middle is called Gesicht. Gesicht is the German word for face, which was strange to me that someone is called Gesicht. And like Rob said, it is about robots living among us, like normal people. And piece by piece, you get more of the whole story. Like Rob said, it is a nice little bit murder mystery. Totally enjoyed it. And Rob, you said those are the guys who did the Monster Show that you love too.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, the writer. It comes from the same writer. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, the same writer. Okay. Yeah. Nice, Rob. So, and everyone was bitching about, and I said, what people are having again. I thought it was a great finale. Good finale to Squid Game Season 3, which is actually, for me, it's still Season 2, just the second half.
Yeah, it was. I finished Squid
the games
Game.
Went up.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought, as an epic, if you watch the whole show as one long thing, I think it works as an Act 1
totally.
and Act 2. And I thought, look, again, was the ending with a certain twist, an added player, so to speak? To me, that was
just a good surprise, Rob.
It worked. I thought it worked well.
No, it didn't.
It certainly had a sense of whimsy to it.
As always, Rob. And it was nice for me that the games were back on. The revolution got put down. And the games were back on again. That's what I love.
There was a couple of really good games.
Yep, especially the bridge again, Rob. That was pretty tricky again.
Jump rope.
And actually, Rob, I quite enjoyed the side plots with the girl from North Korea and the brother of the main evil guy. So I quite enjoyed Squid Game. I totally think they did a good landing for me. So I totally enjoyed Squid Game. This was the stuff that I have seen. But one more, so I can already show one physical media, Rob. I watched the animated Oscar winner this year, which I haven't seen until this day. I watched it yesterday. I watched Flow. This is the Curzon one. Curzon special
wow,
edition.
That's beautiful.
Totally enjoyed it. I have not seen every animated movie that was nominated this year, but for me, this is totally worth getting the Oscar. It was such a nice looking movie. And yes, the animals are a little bit specific, but I totally enjoyed the look. And for me, actually, Flow, Rob, I attribute it a little bit more to the cinematography of the movie because the camera is always moving. You don't have a stale background and the characters or the animals move in front of it. The camera is always moving, always flowing. So really nice one. So inside we have the Digi, which comes with the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray and the 4K. So the Digi of Flow. Then, what I totally love, we have a little bit of a booklet with an interview with the director. And on the back, we got more into...
Wow, that's a really nice book.
Designs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. And it comes with a poster. Now I have to be a little bit careful. Wait, where do I have it? Here. So comes with a poster too. And I believe the Criterion will come out later this year. This is from the UK version. And I got 3 cards, which actually was at first a little bit disappointing, Rob, because when you go to Amazon UK and you click on the edition, you actually see 5 cards with the 5 main animals. So I thought I got screwed, Rob. They forgot 2 cards, but there was a user review underneath this. He did all, so only get 3 cards. But in the picture, you can actually see all 5 cards with the animals. But he actually didn't get the one with the cat, which is shiny.
Oh, look at that, shiny.
So he didn't have as the cat one, but I had the cat one. So, you have to,
so there's chase cards in that.
one.
Uh-oh.
And the lemur. So actually, but if you look on Amazon website, there are actually 5 cards, but it seems like in every set are only 3. But I got the main protagonist, the cat, and some stickers. I totally enjoyed Flo. Really, for me, totally worth getting the.
Well, it's coming out on Criterion in the States, here in the States.
Correct. A little later this year. So this is my first edition one. Flo, back to you.
Nice. Well, I have to say that my good friend Bill Hunt and Alvaro Zinho Samara, the writer of Equimedian, we went to Bill's house because he got the first 9 out of 10 episodes of the 3rd season of Apple's Foundation.
Ooh, nice.
The series. And so I went down there. I arrived just before 9 a.m. yesterday. And Alvaro, Bill, and I watched all 9 episodes with
so a nice binge Saturday.
A meal break, and then we got to the 8th episode. We watched it in between 8 and 9. We took a 3-mile walk, and then played with the raccoons that live in his backyard, and took a picture with his cat Charlie, who Bill's cats. Bill and Sarah Hunt are like 2 of the greatest people in the world. And they love animals. I love animals, and they have a lot of animals, but their house is meticulously clean, which is hard to do, I know, because we have, many animals as well. But it was fantastic, and I have to say, Foundation, every season I think Apple's Foundation, look, it is an adaptation of Asimov's Foundation works. It is also, which I think is genius, I don't know if they got the rights. Alvaro said they got the rights to the robot novels, like the Elijah Bailey books, The Naked Sun, By Jupiter, and they have intermingled Asimov's robots and the Foundation series. Season 3 was incredible. We didn't get to see the final episode to find out what happens to the mule, but really, really, I watch a show like that, and I think to myself, why is it we're getting the swill they're serving up as Star Trek? And if you look at like the J.J. Abrams camp, and then this actual Star Trek camp, you've got For All Mankind, the upcoming Star City, and then you've got people like Jane Espenson, you've got the Buffy, the Joss Whedon group, the pedigree of people writing Apple shows, writing For All Mankind and Foundation, the finest science fiction shows on TV right now. You can see a vast, or as I'd like to say, vast deference. That's an anatomy joke for all you people out there. A vast deference between one side and the other. I wish I could get a show as beautifully written as Foundation, and that had the Star Trek name on it. But apparently I'm never going to get that in my entire life because they don't take Star Trek seriously. They don't know Star Trek. They don't understand Spock. So I grit my teeth. But if I go over to Apple and I watch For All Mankind and I watch Foundation, I get some of the finest televised science fiction that's ever been created. So it was really great to watch all 9 episodes. Beautiful season. I can't wait. I won't be able to see the 10th episode till like the end of September because they didn't send that out for review. But it was fantastic.
So you get the first 9, but there's one missing.
Yeah, they didn't send us. They didn't send us the climax. It's the ultimate example of getting a hand job and you never get a release. Blue Balls Central.
and I saw the photo that you posted on Instagram. How did you get the cat in that kind of pose?
Okay, I'll tell you. So you can go to Instagram. Now, first of all, Sarah Hunt is a brilliant photographer. And if you go see like the pictures she has of her, so they have been feeding a dynasty of raccoons in their backyard in their house for 25 years. And Scooter, who they knew as a baby, Scooter's now a mother. She's nursing, that they haven't seen her kids yet. So Scooter comes around and I put a picture up of Bill. He was feeding Scooter grapes, and of course Sarah was feeding Scooter earlier. These animals are like people. They're totally domesticated, even though they live in the wild. It was amazing. So they have a lot of cats, and Charlie, Bill likes to take pictures. Normally, he's the one that's taking the picture, so Charlie looks up at him.
Yeah.
But Sarah took the picture of Alvaro, Charlie, and I, and she got the perfect moment where we all had to open our mouths and be like, eh. And right as Charlie meowed, she was right there, Johnny on the spot, and got that picture of us.
Unbelievable.
It's on Instagram, and that is a reel. That is not a Photoshop picture. That actually happened.
I want to ask you, is there Photoshop involved?
That is a real photograph, and Charlie just comes up and stands there, and is with us. Their cats are great, and like Max would come and sat next to me. I mean, because animals know they sense my power. Cats know I love them. Animals know I love them. So, and he would, the cats just sat on our armrest. I mean, Bill has an awesome home theater, and not only that. Speaking of which, I will show something I got.
Yeah.
Sure. I gotta find it. So after we watched Foundation, Bill threw on the Criterion Barry Lyndon in 4K. Dude, unbelievable. And we're Bill also he gets boxes from Kino Lorber too, and so. Alvaro had never seen this movie, and I said to Bill, Bill, he opens up the box, because I hadn't opened mine yet. I got mine yesterday, too. But I go, one of my most eagerly awaited 4Ks from Kino Lorber came out, and I go, you got to throw on the beginning. And it was, of course, Mario Bava's Danger Diabolic in
nice.
4K.
Looking forward to that, too.
Oh, man, does it look good. Alvaro had never seen it. Hilarious. And, of course... Even though it's a 4K and you get the,
nice,
I guess the Italian poster, this transfer is absolutely gorgeous. Now, for those of you who are Beastie Boys fans, you might remember the Danger Diabolic iconography in their video of Sabotage. This film is very influential visually, and for those people who talk about Mystery Science Theater 3000. Making fun of movies like this is one of the reasons. Like this Island Earth, Manos: The Hands of Fate. Make fun of it all you want, but don't make fun of Mario Bava's Danger Diabolic, produced by Dino De Laurentiis, and of course, around the same time. I think this was first. So this is okay. Yeah, no. So 1968, he made Barbarella and he produced Danger Diabolic in the same year. So these were both based on European comics. I love Danger Diabolic. By the way, look at this, Robert. This is Robert McGinnis. This is one of the great movie posters of all time. Yeah. I used to own the 3-sheet of this. It's now hanging in the 3rd floor, one of the biggest pre-production and previs studios in Hollywood. They have my big poster collection. I had this as part of my collection, the 81-inch, 41 inches by 81 inches. I love Danger Diabolic. This transfer was great. So here's to you, Kino Lorber.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it, Rob, because I only knew the remakes, of Danger Diabolic.
Well,
I mean,
look,
the original one.
This is very campy. It's very 60s. It's borderline Austin Powers. But when you see it, when you see Diabolic's lair, when you see Marissa Mell as one of the hottest women in the world, and John Philip Law, who plays Diabolic in this, and he also plays Pygar the Angel in Barbarella. He's a very handsome man. So let's check in with Grace. Grace, have you seen Diabolic or have you seen Barbarella?
No, I mean, I've seen a few pictures of Barbarella, but I haven't seen anything that's really considered.
Okay, I've got a question. I'm going to ask you a question. What famous British band is named after a character in Barbarella?
I have absolutely no idea.
Duran Duran.
Oh, well, there you go.
Dr. Duran. Just saying. See, you learn something every day on the show. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Her name is Rio, baby, and she dances on the sand. No. Notorious. And A Universe Alone, if you like Paper Gods, which is a great fucking album. Just saying. People are like, what? By the way, Nile Rodgers is producing their new album. And he produced Notorious in 1986. Woohoo! I'm a Duranie.
We have some super chats that came in, Rob.
Oh, I'm sure we do. Let's see what we got. What do we got happening? Let's find out. Let's find out what people are saying. Wow, there's a lot of super chats. Bo Edmonds says, take advantage of Criterion and Kino Lorber's sale. Let's go physical media. Hello to my physical media brothers, Rob and Dieter. Our friend Bo Edmonds is absolutely correct. Kino's having a great sale, and Kino's amazing. They've got so much diversity in there. You can find anything you want at Kino. And what they've been putting out over the last 2 years, their 4Ks, rating that Paramount library, they've done a great job. They're totally, I don't know who, I really want to get, I don't know if they're crypto bros or I don't know what they're doing. Kino Lorber is great. Shout out to Matt from Kino. Kino's, putting out incredible Blu-rays. The Oscar Michaud collection they put out earlier this year, amazing. You go Kino, and their sales are ridiculous. The prices are ridiculous. Fill up your coffers with great physical media. And by the way, Criterion, the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale is on. Dieter, I filled up my basket, everything 50% off, and even at 50% off, it came out to $600. And I'm like, I don't have $600. I don't have $6.
So
I'm like overdrawn on PayPal.
Actually, it would be a Schnäppchen if you only bought one.
Yeah, well, I look at it and go, but still, there's so much great stuff. And then I look at that Wes Anderson box set, and it's like, with the sale, it's like $300. I'm like, oh, what a bargain. I don't know. I'm going broke. I'm gonna die. I owe so many people money.
The good thing is, Rob, the good thing is that we know after the 50% off situation, the price will go back to its original.
It's true.
Pricing, you know,
it is true. Black Adder, not I, sends in a super chat and says, I'm seeing a mystery horror film at the cinema tomorrow. Hopefully, it will be an advanced screening. Also got the first volume of Pluto this week, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Well, there you go. You know what, Dieter? I ordered Pluto on Blu-ray, and I haven't got it yet. I ordered it from somebody on eBay, so we'll see if I get it. I don't know. Listen, tell us. Maybe the mystery horror film is Weapons. Weapons comes out in a month.
This early, Rob? This
it's a month in advance. Early? Everyone says how great it is. Okay. You never know. You never know.
It's a little early.
Cami Egan says, I saw F1 last night and I loved it. It was heart-pounding and I felt like I was in the car with Brad Pitt. Me too. What I didn't like was the movie started 35 minutes after the listed showtime. Yeah, they got to get on this. That's not good.
It's usual here. Usual business.
Oh, man, it's just not good.
I don't know what you're complaining about.
Yeah. Justin Toner says, hey, guys, I went to my local Barnes & Noble for Criterion's 50% off sale and got Eastern Condors, Kurosawa's Dreams, and Yojimbo Sanjuro in 4K. My pre-order of The Stuff 4K from Arrow just shipped. That's very exciting. Very exciting. Danzig 1979 has been a member for 18 months. Thank you, Danzig 1979.
Nice.
Major Chai Chai says, I am seeing This Is Spinal Tap, the theater, later this evening. Good job, Castle Grayskull. Thanks for the shout-out. Let's find out. Castle Grayskull, what is it like being on this show? How does it feel?
It feels really great, but it's also, super nerve-wracking. I mean, I've never really, done any of this stuff before, so...
So you're a virgin. Really you're a virgin is what you're saying.
Well, I guess.
Okay, that's what we need to know. Grace is a virgin. I mean, a virgin on the internet.
She was on the members chat call.
Yeah, but that wasn't public.
Anymore.
That wasn't public. She's actually she's gotten over her fear.
The first time she was there, it was still in the public 2 hour first part. She was there.
Okay. Alvaro Zinos Amaro is here. Yeah. Meet Burnett. Slick, suave, gentle, brutal, wild. Out for all he can take, seduce, or get away with. 4K is pre-ordered. That is, of course, what they say about John Philip Law as Diabolic. That's the ad line that's on the poster. You know, it was great to see. You know, it's great when you show people things that understand, that can put them in proper context, that are very intelligent, and they can be like, I get what you're showing me. Rather than be like, yeah, that's cheesy. I don't like the editing and blah, 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 blah. No, Alvaro was definitely enjoying it. And by the way, shout out to him If you want to read a really interesting, very well-written science fiction novel, go to Amazon and right now and get Equimedian. Okay? Equimedian. It's a great book. Get it. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of physical media, you know what he gave me? He gave me this book. This is a pre-release Spaceships, Ray Guns, and Martian Octopods. This is a book. It was edited by Richard Walensky, and this is a book of interviews with famous science fiction writers. Now, Alvaro wrote a blurb on this, but I thought this was a book he had written, but no. And this, I haven't dug into this yet, but it's pretty great. There's a lot of great interviews in here with science fiction legends, and a lot of great. I mean, there's Hugo Gernsback in Amazing Stories, the story of Weird Tales, Years of the Depression. Wow, this is really extensive. The King of Science Fiction, John W. Campbell, an astounding World War II science fiction in the 40s. Wow, the 50s. This is dope. Okay, anyway, it's coming out, but Alvaro gave it to me. So shout out. Thomas Logan says, got tickets for Astor's latest Eddington on July 17th. A24 gave him $60 million. Joaquin probably got 10, which is more than what they gave Garland for Civil War. Well, let's see if it's good. I hope so. Agent Silver Fox says, Rob, I am broke too, collecting 1/6 scale figures and 4Ks. Do what I do, selling my aging body down on the Scottish docks.
That's an idea.
Hey, man, you can always take a shower when you're done, right? And brush your teeth. And, clean yourself up. Well, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. So there you go. You never know what you're going to get on Let's Get Physical Media. Hang on, let me just make sure that...
What we gotten over the last few weeks are letters from Paul and Brunotto. And I got a new one, Rob, considering movies from 1975. And Paul and Brunotto says, Let's Get Physical Media, summer movie releases 1975. Hello, Rob, Dieter, and the live chat. As we continue with the summer movie release of 1975, thought I'd start the Apple Dumpling Gang. This was one of the big July
I saw that in the
weekend
theater.
releases
I saw
in
it.
theaters.
I was there.
Oh, nice. The Disney live-action movies from the 70s were different in genre, tone, humor, and pretty iconic for its day. Starring Bill Bixby as an ace gambler who's tricked into taking care of 3 orphans that strike gold. With a great supporting cast, Susan Clark, Don Knotts, Tim Conway, Harry Morgan, Sim Pickens, and David Wayne. Available on DVD, Blu-ray, and streaming on Disney+. Our next release is Smile, a funny and satirical look at beauty pageants from the mid-70s, starring Bruce Dern, Barbara Felton, with stacked supporting cast, Geoffrey Lewis, Dennis Dugan, Melanie Griffith, Annette O'Toole, and Colleen Kemp, available on DVD and Blu-ray. The Drowning Pool, mystery thriller starring Paul Newman, his wife Joan Woodward, Mary Hamilton, Gail Strickland, Melanie Griffith, Coral Brown, and Andrew Robinson. This movie is a loose sequel to the 1968 Harper, also starring Paul Newman, on DVD and Blu-ray. All different genre releases for that week in July of 75 that are worth watching. Until the next letter, catch you later, Paul Allen Brunotto.
Dieter,
that was his
when
letter.
he says catch you later, you have to go, catch you later. Because that's what Malcolm McDowell does in Blue Thunder.
Okay.
Where's that Blu-ray? Or 4K? Charlie de Lazarica did special features.
Probably.
I have the Blu-ray, but the 4K. Blue Thunder is the perfect movie. It is I know it came out in 83. John Badham's 1-2 punch of Blue Thunder and War Games in 83. But what was awesome about Blue Thunder is it's the perfect transition between the 70s conspiracy thriller and 80s action cinema. I went and saw a public sneak of Blue Thunder downtown in Seattle's Cinerama Theater like 4 months before it opened. Dude, it was like the greatest thing ever. I loved it. I love Blue Thunder.
I believe you.
It's got a great score.
Me too. Yeah.
It's got Candy Clark. I mean, it's got Malcolm McDowell. Catch you later. Come on. And it's got the coolest helicopter of all time. I had a great model, a die-cast model of Blue Thunder that Aoshima from Japan made, and there was an earthquake and it fell off a shelf. If anyone knows, if anyone has a line for that Aoshima Blue Thunder die-cast thing, it probably costs like $10,000 now if you can even find one. Love to get it again. Because, by the way, okay, let me ask Castle Grayskull first. Okay, this is a very important question.
Oh my God.
Blue Thunder or Airwolf?
I don't know Blue Thunder, but I do know Airwolf.
Okay, that's a wrong answer. Wrong answer. How do you not know? Dieter? Blue Thunder?
Blue Thunder, of
Oh,
course.
my.
Help me, Rob. Is Airwolf was only a series, or was there even a movie? Airwolf?
No, there was only a series. The Blue Thunder
Only
series
series,
was short-lived, but it has a better helicopter. And I know some people think Airwolf is better than Blue Thunder. No. This is a big important question. For all you existentialists out there, really, to contemplate Blue Thunder or Airwolf it will lead you down a path of self-actualization that you didn't even know you wanted to go down. I'm just saying. For you people in need of therapy or in therapy now, ask your therapist to ask you about the Blue Thunder Airwolf conundrum, because it is definitely something that is ongoing, and it has been ongoing since the early 80s, and it really defines who you are as a person. And if you don't believe me, you haven't done enough. You have not done enough soul searching. I'm just saying. All right, look, the chat is already contemplating Blue Thunder or Airwolf.
Or Airwolf. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So, Rob, who starts?
Why don't you start?
Media?
We're 54 minutes into this wacky show, and we've each shown something. Why don't you show me? Show me yours. Show me yours, Dieter.
And luckily, I did save some titles from last week, like I told you. But this is a new one from this week, a movie I quite enjoyed, but I was hoping it would be awesome. But it was just good. I got a steelbook for Novocaine.
Yeah.
With the great, and I'm surprised, Rob, this is the German one, that they didn't go with the German title, Mr. No Pain, So this is the media book.
It's a cool steelbook, kind of retro, cool.
Yeah. Retro, Blu-ray, and the 4K, Novocaine. So, see the book here. And then, this one Rob already showed. Speaking of the Raka Boys, finally I said, okay, probably bought it now for the third time. Talk to me from Second Sight.
Yeah, I was going to... You know what? That's a Second Sight title I didn't order. I should probably order it because I have the Umbrella version.
You didn't, Rob. I remember you showed it.
Yeah, I have the big Umbrella box set. I have the Umbrella box.
Oh, yes.
Set.
Yeah. Now I remember.
Dude, I mean, Second Sight...
You have the hand.
Second Sight, my favorite boutique label of all time. I feel bad not buying a release like Talk to Me because their transfer is probably better.
But you can talk to the hand, Rob,
I did buy the hand. Yeah. You can do a lot with that hand.
And actually, Rob, I'm a little bit fearful that they plan to do a sequel. I understand why, but please don't explain too much in the sequel. Leave it a mystery. That, of course, thick book for the movie, which was my favorite in that year. Totally blessed. And it comes, of course, with some lobby cards. And I forgot where did I see the main actress again. It was a newer movie. I remember seeing it. Just see. No, this is good. So, nice. Lobby cards. So don't explain too much. Don't try to explain where the hand comes from. Leave it a mystery. So talk to me from Second Sight.
Beautiful. Second Sight. Remember, if Second Sight were a girl, Second sight would be Farrah Fawcett Majors as Holly in Logan's Run.
Correct. Then, from the news section, I said, okay, from Joy and Vet on 88 films, The Witch from Nepal.
Wow, look at that.
Comes, I like, a little more arrow-like. We have an O-ring for it. We get to the inside, so this is the back of it. So this is actually a cat in the bag for me. Don't think I know the movie. Inside, you can always switch to the Hong Kong motive. But this is a Blu-ray. This is not a 4K. And of course, we have a little bit, not a poster, but I quite enjoyed this actually a little bit more like a original artwork. And we have a booklet that comes with the movie. But for me, totally cat in the bag. So hopefully a good one. The Witch from Nepal. Put that aside. The next one, actually from John McTiernan. I don't know if I have seen it on VHS. I got Nomads.
Oh, I keep forgetting to order that. That is John McTiernan's first feature. Die Hard director John McTiernan. He also wrote that film. He wrote that movie. You know, I have to say,
it's from the UK. Yeah,
I have to say that is a very. I don't know if it's a great movie, but it's a very interesting film. And I keep meaning that's a new 4K release. And you know, it's McTiernan.
It's just a Blu-ray, Robert. Not a 4K.
You didn't get the 4K. There's no 4K of that. God damn it!
No, this is just a Blu-ray.
Well, I gotta buy it because I keep forgetting to order that. Or maybe, you know what? I might have ordered that and forgot because it's from a new boutique label.
Yeah, it's a the TF label. No.
By the way, I just want to point out as you show that, look at how great that is. Because this show couldn't get any wackier, I think Castle Grayskull needs to introduce our new guest, even though she doesn't know him. But I'll tell you,
and some lobby cards, and then I give it over to you and Castle.
No, show the lobby cards.
Really looking forward to.
I can't wait to hear what you think of Nomads.
Yeah, I don't know, Rob, if I've seen it perhaps on VHS.
It's a really interesting movie, and of course from a perspective, it's pre-Predator, pre-Hunt for Red October, pre-Die Hard, John McTiernan. It's really
pre-everything.
It is. It's pre-everything.
Over to you.
No, it's going to be over to Castle Grayskull. She didn't know about this, but we have a new guest coming on the show. And I don't know if you know him, if you love him. You should know him and love him, because to know him is to love him. And I mean love him in every way. I mean, if I met him, you know, when I was a younger guy, I would have fallen madly in love with the poor man. And I would have followed him around like a puppy.
Oh my gosh. Who's this?
Well, can you see him can you see him there at the top? You can see him. You should be able to see him on the screen for the show. Can you see down there where his name is below us? Okay, I'll tell you what.
No, I can't see it.
I'm going to introduce him.
Max Allen Collins?
That's exactly who it is.
Oh, okay.
So you introduce him. He is, of course, a mystery. He is according to the Mystery Writers of America, he's a Grand Master. I was talking to Alvaro yesterday, who is a movie novelization collector. We were talking about Max Allen Collins' movie novelization career, which is, I mean, although I have to say, Alvaro, I was like, dude, he did a CSI book, and Alvaro said that's a bridge too far. But he has all of his Dark Angel novelizations. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm sure Max would love to hear that. So, would you like to have anything to say about him? Did you listen to True Noir? He's a great man.
Well, I can introduce him if you like.
Please do. Please, introduce him.
Okay, so we'll do it in French then.
Oh, that's the best. Introduce him in French.
Alors, voici, tous et toutes, je vous présente le grand maître lui-même de Road to Perdition et de True Noir. Voici Max Allen Collins.
The man, the myth, the legend, live right here on Let's Get Physical Media, Mr. Max Allen Collins, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Max?
I haven't been Frenched for a long time.
Oh, you fit right in on this show. What's it like to be Frenched?
Well, I'm a married man, so I don't even remember.
You don't have to lean in. You're good. Your sound's good.
I'm sorry. You can hear me, and I'm not clipping this week.
You're not clipping this week.
All right.
Clipping this week.
See what I can do.
You know, you've been saying you're a married man until that one night where you didn't go out with your wife to be. You just watched Maverick at home.
Well, I wasn't married yet.
Yeah, but let's not forget that's a low point.
It worked out.
It did, but but at the time, you're right. You know what? It close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Well, isn't there a story about you being in a movie theater and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Correct. The Mad Max story.
But that worked out in my favor. I mean, the point of that story is that you don't make out with a girl when you're watching The Road Warrior. I'm just saying, you don't do that. I don't even care, who you are. You just it's something you just don't do.
That's one of your weakest arguments, Rob.
No, it's not. It's the George Miller argument, and the fact is, you don't ever do anything else in a movie theater when George Miller's movies are on. That's not a weak argument. That's just the truth.
It's the law.
It is the law. It is law. Well, welcome Max Allen Collins to Let's Get Physical Media. And, of course, I just want to remind everybody that was a fine introduction in French from Castle Grayskull. So thanks for having her. And she's sticking with this motley band of pirates this week. What a crazy show. Max, it's good to have you here. I played a different clip, an earlier clip from episode 6 of True Noir. I love that clip. That was a very difficult clip to do, the assassination of Cermak himself.
That particular scene in the book True Detective, that was Mickey Spillane's favorite of anything I ever wrote.
Wow.
And you brought it to life.
Well, I had help. I mean, I had our great actors. I had everybody from Barry Bostwick, star of Megaforce, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and my favorite animated movie of all time, Fantastic Planet. I had, of course, the great Jeffrey Combs. I had your writing. And I had the sound design of everybody working at our great place, Private Island Audio, and Mike, our sound designer. Amazing. But
I know that we're both very, very proud of that, and if we want to encourage anybody that hasn't picked it up yet to do so.
To go to truenoir.co, you can order the whole thing, and it'll soon be available on other platforms. But yeah, go there and get it. Support independent productions. And by the way, speaking of independent productions, our movie White Devils, we are going to have a worldwide internet premiere. Micro-budget independent cinema has a big future, and we're gonna lead the way on National Women's Day in South Africa, which is August 9th. White Devils is based on a play by Reza DeWitt, who is one of the most celebrated playwrights and writers in South Africa. She passed away in 2012 from leukemia. She was very, very celebrated, and White Devils is based on her play Deep Grond. That's my stab at Afrikaners. And we are going to have, it'll cost like $9 or something, but we're going to have screenings on the 9th of August, which is National Women's Day in South Africa. And Reza DeWitt was somebody who fought for women's rights and immigrant rights and fought against apartheid. And so, yes, so there you go. Support White Devils, independent filmmaking, micro-budget stuff. From the team that brought you Tango Shalom, we went from Brooklyn to South Africa. So there you go.
It's a great idea, very innovative, and I think it opens the door for a lot of independent filmmakers.
I think so too, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe like 3 people show up and I'll have egg on my face, but maybe not. We'll see.
$27 you didn't have.
That No, because I that's just put that's $5,787 I didn't have plus 27. So, and actually that's after I pay back all the people I owe, which is we're some people on this stream know. They're like, where's the money, son? But we'll get to that later. Not in this stream, but other streams. But anyway, Max, you have some brand new physical media you wanted to talk about. One of the most interesting films of the year. Did you not? And
I do. And I probably don't need to talk about it a whole lot because I would imagine most of your audience has seen this. If they haven't, shame on them. I think it's the best movie of the year so far, at least, and I can't really picture anything else better coming along. I'd be glad to have it, but it reminded me of how I used to feel in the 70s and 80s when I'd be blown away by a movie. Like in the 70s, Bonnie and Clyde hit me this way, for example. But this and Chinatown hit me this way. It's a great transfer too, by the way, and it sounds great. And music is such a huge part of this movie. Again, we don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but I showed this to my wife Barb, who had not seen it in the theater, and she was just blown away by it, as I expected she would be, because the whole front end of the movie is like a great gangster movie before the vampires really come in off the sidelines, kind of. I mean, it's a wonderful movie before that stuff happens, and it does some incredibly bold things. The sequence where they're playing a blues song, very upbeat, and suddenly all musicians, popular musicians, black musicians from the future and the past are just there intermingling with the audience with the crowd that's in this juke joint. And it's really bold. I've never seen anything quite like that. And we might need a little bit of a spoiler alert, but there's a moment toward the end of the movie where one of the Michael Jordan characters, and there too,
Smoke and Stack. And by the way, they both work for Al Capone. So Sinners is a sequel to both Road to Perdition and True Noir, the Assassination of Anton Cermak.
Well, I have to say I think there's a lot of, and I'm talking about the movie, not my work, but a lot of the Road to Perdition movie, their fingerprints are all over this movie. It's the climactic gun battle between, and I love to see Ku Klux Klan guys get killed by a black guy with a machine gun. That's one of my favorite things.
Well, there's only, Max, that is second underneath Nazis getting killed with machine guns. You can't go wrong. You kill Nazis, you kill Ku Klux Klansmen with machine guns, and it's got to be machine guns. Like Tarantino knew this in Inglourious Bastards. And then,
so did Tom Hanks at the end of Road to Perdition.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. But what? Killing Nazis is more global. Klansmen, we never got to export the Klan to the rest of the world. Really, they were already racist. It's fine.
Well, there's a moment at the end of that sequence when Michael Jordan has been wounded and maybe dying. We don't know for sure, where the two worlds of this movie converge, to where someone who has died interacts with him, and the movie does not really explain it, and it doesn't do a thing where at the end it cuts to him dead and having imagined this or experienced it toward the end of his life. The movie just walks away, which I thought was incredibly powerful. And again, I don't feel like I need to. Most of your audience has probably seen this.
Well, let's find out. Castle Grayskull, have you seen Sinners?
Yes. No, I have not.
Do you want to see Sinners?
Well, obviously, since everyone's been talking such amazing, giving it so much praise, then that would be definitely something that I will definitely.
I think you'd like it because it's not just horror; it has the music and everything. You're not going to love it as much as you love Martyrs when you get around to watching that, but it's going to be something that you that you're gonna. Sinners is great stuff. So Max,
well, I have to admit something, and this shows that I'm kind of an idiot, I guess, which will come as no surprise to many of you.
You got to sit back and relax, sit back, because you keep leaning into the mic. Chill. You gotta relax. Yes, there you go. So you're not an idiot. Just chill out.
Well, when I saw this movie for the first time, and I saw it with my son Nate, I kept asking myself through the whole movie, basically, where did you find these two actors who looked exactly alike? and it was like about two-thirds the way through the movie where I turned to my son and just said, I think Michael Jordan's playing both of these parts. He just kind of looked at me, But you got to admit, they've come. We've all seen movies over the years where two characters interact, who are played by one actor, but it's so convincing here.
And he does such a good job of creating two very distinct personalities.
And I have to say, and that kind of plays into some of what's on the 4K. And the 4K is an amazing looking disc. It has a lot of really good special features. For example, one that talks about how the wardrobe for these two characters, the two characters played by the same actor, were made to be very distinctive, even though they're of the same era. And basically the same kind of wardrobe.
Do you remember who the costume designer was?
I do not. Is it somebody you've interviewed recently?
Ruth Carter, Academy Award winner Ruth Carter, two-time Academy Award winner Ruth Carter, which you can go watch the interview I did with her about Sinners on the John Campea channel. And you know what? It makes me sad because I think designing Hollywood is one of the best things I've done. I've been doing it for years, but nobody watches it. And Ruth Carter is a delight, and I would suggest watching both of those interviews because she's an amazing woman. And as they've talked about, she was working on Marvel's Blade, and Blade was set in the 20s. And when Blade didn't get made, they bought Marvel Was Nice and allowed Ryan Coogler and the whole production to buy the wardrobe Ruth Carter was doing for Blade, and they used it for Sinners. So how cool is that?
It's a great film. I mean, it really is, and beautiful 4K. Now, shall I move on to my next selection?
Just quick, Max. Can you tell us a little bit about the aspect ratio changes that the movie comes with?
Well, there's some extended scenes or cut scenes, quite a few, and it's just exactly what you want from that kind of thing, where you at once understand why it was left out, but it enriches the film.
What about the aspect ratio of the actual image itself? Because they use multiple different aspect ratios for the movie.
That isn't discussed, which I was a little I remember.
But it's in the movie itself. I mean,
oh yeah.
Like when How did you feel about the changing on home video? How did you feel about the changing going from
was it distracting or was it interwoven really nicely?
Well, Dieter, I'd say it wasn't distracting at all. I mean, I think you're so immersed in the story, and they changed the aspect ratio when there was a reason to do it, and so you just went with the flow. No, I had no problem with that whatsoever. There is a good making of on the disc. It's really quite, because sometimes on a 4K, so much of the space is used up on the film that you have to have the special features on a Blu-ray that's part of the package. But this is, I mean, this is a good bunch of and well done special features. Not Rob Burnett level special features, but special features.
Look, I'll PayPal you the money for that.
Better
comment.
than the usual EK kits.
The other thing I want to mention this. There's a series that I know you're familiar with, Rob, because it's Radiance, who's one of your favorite.
Oh yeah.
And they do this thing called
World Noir.
World Noir, and I mean we're talking, and it's really interesting because they draw through, they draw upon French, German, Japanese, Swedish. I mean, it's really is worldwide that they're drawing from. I think they've got one coming up that's pretty much maybe strictly French, but these first three are all over the map in a good way. Now I just got this one, number 3, and I only had time to watch the first one, and maybe next time I can report on the other 2. I'll have them watched. One of which is Peter Lorre's only directed film.
Wow.
Called let's see, it's called The Lost One. And then the other one is a Swedish noir, which, I don't know if I ever saw Swedish noir. The one I did see is called Not Guilty, and it stars a well-known French actor, Michel Simon, I believe is how you pronounce it. And
actually, hang on a second. We have somebody with us that can promote. Castle Grayskull, Michel Simon. What would that be pronounced in French?
Is there an E at the end or no?
Max, is there an E at the end?
No. And I can't hear her, by the way. Is there a way for me to hear her?
Michel Simon.
Michel. Okay, Michel Simon. Yeah. Okay, Max.
Simon.
Okay, there you go. There we go.
Okay.
I will see if I can make it so you can hear her.
Well, it's fun just seeing her.
I know, right? She's adorbs. Yeah. She's totes adorbs.
No, it's a nice experience. The director, Henri
You
Decoy,
old smoothie.
That's what I said to the girls when they come to the house and I send them away. Henri Decoy, who, we talked about last time about the directors in Hollywood who would do all kinds of things. And I looked at this guy's list, and he was, again, doing every genre you can think of. And this is really as pure a film noir as you're going to see. Really, it's studio produced. It's in, fake sets, basically. But the lighting is incredible, and the mood is very dark. And it's an extremely evocative kind of story that is... I've never seen one structured quite this way, because the lead character is basically a doctor who is a drunk. And I got to set this up. He hit somebody with his car, was driving drunk on the way home, middle of the night from the bar he just basically got kicked out of. And he gets out of the car and he covers up the crime. And when the police don't see through all of what he did, he has a renewed sense of importance. He thinks, wow, I can do anything because I committed this crime and I was drunk, and yet he says something about I didn't feel drunk at all when I had to do this stuff. And then the movie proceeds to go through several murders. And this is where it's weird. He is apparently the murderer, but we never see him commit the murders.
Wow.
And we see him in the aftermath. And then it becomes a kind of reverse Columbo, where he plays cat and mouse with the cops. And it's really, really interesting. And then it builds to... Well, I'm not going to spoil it. It's really worth watching. Interestingly, there are 2 endings. One is bleak, and one is maybe done for the censors or Hollywood.
Are they both in the movie, or are there 2 different versions of the movie?
The positive version, the one that's not bleak, is separate. It's presented as an alternate ending. But what I thought was kind of interesting about the alternate ending was it paid off how the movie started out at the beginning in a way that the official version didn't. So I don't know which ending came first in terms of the director or writer. Wow. But it's a terrific movie, and it's a good example of what they do in this world noir World Noir Volume 1, 2, 3, and soon 4. The other two movies I wanted to mention.
Yeah, you didn't tell me what the names were.
Oh, well, I send you this? Executive Suite is one of them.
Oh, okay.
And
you know what? Wait, hang on. I've got that somewhere here. Maybe I didn't. Oh, yeah, here we go. So you're talking about this Warner Archives Executive Suite?
Yes.
And William Holden, June Allison, Barbara Stanwyck, Frederick March, Walter Pigeon, Shelley Winters, Paul Douglas. Wow.
And Dean Jagger.
Dean Jagger, man. This
Nina Foch. I mean, it's one of the most incredible casts I've ever seen.
By the way, I love the back of this. Who holds the power in the executive suite? The president of Treadway Corp has unexpectedly died. This seems like the most topical shit ever. It's like Succession.
Yeah, it's really good, and I know I'm kind of wandering a bit outside of my mystery suspense area, but there's so much mystery and suspense in the way this is handled. This is it's based on a big bestseller. Interestingly, Executive Suite by Cameron Hawley, I believe is the gentleman's name, was the first book ever published by Ballantine Books. Which
really?
Is probably, yeah. And they tried an experiment by doing the hardcover and this paperback at the same time. And they found out it didn't hurt their sales. But it did not become a trend. But it put Ballantine on the map. So you've even got a copy. Have you watched it?
No. This came from Warner Archive last week. It's new. You know, again, this looks really interesting, and I put this on the top of the pile. It's literally on the top of the pile of what I'm watching. So,
well, it's by the director of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, one of our favorite movies.
I was hoping you would mention that. This is a Robert Wise, the man who directed West Side Story, well, co-directed West Side Story, The Sound of Music, The Sand Pebbles.
And then
Curse of the Cat People. He edited Citizen Kane.
Yeah, it's a terrific movie, and it's like a kind of bestseller. I don't think they do much anymore. Like my mother got this as Book of the Month Club. She got all the big books as Book of the Month Club, and none of them are worth anything now because nobody wants a book club edition. But it has a whole group of characters that are interwoven, and you follow one for a while, and you follow another for a while, and you follow another for a while. Holden is clearly the key character, but you have somebody like Barbara Stanwyck who's in maybe 3 scenes, but they're powerful. And the mystery essentially is who the president of this company, which is a furniture company. It sounds exciting, doesn't it? He drops dead unexpectedly, and which usually when you drop dead, it's unexpected. Now that I think of it, and so everybody on the board, in the executive suite, it's all about who's going to be the next president, who's going to maneuver and sometimes do shady things, and it's very interesting, and it's very much like there's a lot of suspense involved in it, and it ends up with the equivalent of a courtroom scene where William Holden, who isn't even really thinking about being in the running, stands up and does something kind of like the speech in the Fountainhead. He just talks from his heart and his philosophies, and it's really, really interesting. It shows you how a movie with kind of quiet subject matter can suck you in to suspense.
Okay, Max.
Yeah,
Matt, can I blow your mind a minute about this?
Sure.
Do you know who produced this movie?
Victor Savelle.
No. John Houseman.
Oh, you're right. John Houseman.
The actor. John Houseman, Rollerball John Houseman, Professor Kingsfield from The Paper Chase John Houseman. John Houseman produced this movie.
Yeah, well, he produced a lot of movies.
I know. And it was funny because, like you said, Cameron Howley's novel. I mean, but John Houseman one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, I love John Houseman. And, I mean, Professor Kingsfield is one
Well, I
of my
love the TV show. The TV show was great.
The movie and the TV show. Like, go. For those of you who don't know, John Houseman, you'll know him when you see him. One of the greatest actors of all time. But look up The Paper Chase, Professor Kingsfield. There's an opening scene that you can watch in different versions where he talks about the law, like what the point is. And The Paper Chase is one of the greatest TV shows ever. Where the hell? I mean, it went from different places. I mean, different outlets, Showtime. And it's like, where is Kent Warner Archive put out The Paper Chase? I want that show so bad. To me, other than like Star Trek and The Twilight Zone, The Paper Chase and Friday Night Lights are two of my very favorite shows of all time. I have Friday Night Lights. I'd love to get The Paper Chase. John Houseman produced the film.
I agree, and there are similarities between the shows. I confused myself because the next thing I was going to talk about is the Citadel, which is.
Do you have a copy of that with you?
I have a copy of it.
There you go.
How am I doing? I'm getting really mediocre.
And but you're doing great, man. This is amazing. And by the way, yes, this is another recent release from Warner Archive. Just came out. So tell us about it.
It is also not exactly a crime or suspense thing, although there are crimes in it. And it's another one of these big bestsellers of the past. I mean, going back to Executive Suite, the author there, what is his name? Cameron Haley.
Cameron Hawley.
Cameron Hawley. He did a number of big bestsellers, like he did Cash McCall, which had Natalie Wood and James Garner in it, and it, again, was one of these Book of the Month Club kind of big books. This was of the previous era. This is a book that was a huge bestseller in 1937 by an author who at the time was a household name word, A.J. Cronin, that nobody remembers anymore. Yeah. And it's really, really a terrific movie. It follows a young, like right out of medical school doctor who gets, who goes to a mining town, a Welsh mining town, and has to deal with people that don't really, all the miners want is him to write them a slip saying that, and that's what they want from him as a doctor. And of course, what happens is he realizes, basically is dealing with black lung there. And he sets up a lab in his little apartment, and he and his wife, played by a glowing Rosalind Russell, they're working very hard to try to come up with something to find out what's going on. He's got one microscope, and basically he really, he really brings this particular social problem to the fore, but he doesn't it doesn't do him any personal good, just the satisfaction. And he spends a year in London with a little practice that nobody comes to. But an old friend of his, played by Rex Harrison, in a very young part, if you can imagine Rex Harrison in 1937, brings him into a society kind of clinic, almost a nursing home. This is where the high-end socialites go to get their medicine. And it's basically a scam place. I mean, they'll just give them placebos and stuff because they think they're sick. And he gets corrupted by this. So you have this really idealistic guy. And then Rosalind Russell is on the sidelines, very disappointed with her, with her husband. And then a mentor of his from the Welsh town comes to visit him and has an opportunity to give him to go to a clinic and really deal with some of the things that were important to him in the first part of the movie. And he just kind of brushes them off. What happens is basically, there are two crimes. One crime, he and his mentor, who was kind of an eccentric guy, played by Ralph Richardson. I mean, really a big-time actor. They blow up a sewer because they figure out that this, the water there is polluted because of this sewer, and they can't get the government to it sounds like today, can't get the government to do anything about it. So they put dynamite down there in the middle of the night and blow it up. So that shows the lengths that this guy, when he was idealistic, would go to. And then later, there is a key person who dies on the operating table because one of these doctors isn't really what he claims to be, and it's malpractice, and he calls it murder. Says it's murder. And then he gets in trouble for calling it murder because the doctors are all kind of standing up for each other. And then it also concludes with a kind of a courtroom type scene where the doctor has to defend himself in front of a medical association. So, these Warner Archives titles that your friend George is coming up with are really, everybody ought to be. If you think you care about movies, you don't unless you support Warner Archives.
Well, I mean, I think that I've said before, and George Feltenstein, I think, is not only one of my favorite people I've ever met in the industry. I also think he's one of the most important. I mean, not to oversell it. Look, I don't get money from him when I say this, or anything like that. But what George is doing, no one is doing more to preserve the legacy of our cinematic legacy than he is.
I agree.
And he has made sure that Warner Archive, their bit rates are the highest. The transfers are amazing. He's making full use of all of the things that are going on at Warner Brothers. You've got motion picture imaging on the motion picture on the Warner Brothers lot. Fidelity in Motion, one of the great encoders in the business right now, probably the best. I mean, George, no one knows more than George, and no one cares more than George Feltenstein does. And Warner Brothers should thank their lucky stars that they have somebody like this working for them, because they just don't exist. The institutional knowledge, the love of cinema, it has been completely bled out of the industry. In our quest. I mean, George is a very vibrant man. I'm not saying he's old, but he's been around, but he knows what's up, and he has done so much for the cinematic legacy. I mean, the TCM, Turner Classic Movies, they've already restored Ben-Hur in 4K. So, I can't wait to and what George told me, like I said, he even told me one of my favorite movies from the 80s that I have a particular love affair with it. I don't think anyone loves as much as I do. That has a connection to Chinatown. Shh. Is coming out in 4K from a certain company. I mean, I was like, oh my God, really? Because nobody cares about this movie. Maybe you do, but I
Are
I
we
love this
talking
movie.
about the two Jakes?
No, that's coming out from Kino Lorber.
Okay, I just was.
No, I'm talking about perhaps the writer from Chinatown maybe directed a movie in the late 1988 starring Hollywood stars. You never know. Maybe coming out in 4K.
Yeah,
Don't know.
I got a hunch. I figured that out now.
Yeah, so I particularly love this film. But anyway, so Max, this sounds incredible.
Well, one of the things, I'll put a little cherry in the sundae here. One of the things that I love about Warner Archives and other, Kino Lorber too brings out stuff, and a lot of these companies are taking older movies out, and I've been going to movies pretty much since I was 5 years old, and seeing a movie a week for decades and decades, or more than a movie a week. So I've seen a lot of these movies, but these both were movies, Executive Suite and The Citadel, that I had ignored, even when they came on TV, The Late Show or whatever. I just ignored them because I mentioned my mother in the Book of the Month Club. I had contempt for these Book of the Month Club books that came rolling in. So I never saw these movies. So I had the joy, of seeing William Holden starring in this movie with this incredible cast as if it were brand new. I'd never seen it before. And the same thing about The Citadel. Ralph Richardson, Rex Harrison, and Rosalind Russell. When you see Rosalind Russell, this is 1938, and you see Rosalind Russell, and you can see My Girl Friday in there. You can see the actress who's going to be able to do that. You can see Auntie Mame in that, even though it's not that kind of character. I mean, you can just see the energy, and that's the person. You can see, Mama Rose and in Gypsy. And so I took great, pleasure in seeing her in this picture. And I don't know if you have this experience, Rob, but sometimes it'll be something like a James Stewart movie, or you name your favorite star and you've never seen it, and it's brand new to you.
Yeah.
Right now, it could have been in the theater.
It's a cat in the bag.
It's just phenomenal. Anyway, I enjoyed these very much, and I will keep enjoying movies and joining my two favorite people anytime they'll have me.
Well, where's your wife to gush over Dieter?
Well, I didn't, I kind of try to keep her away from Dieter as much as I can.
Because his magnetism is undeniable.
And I can only live up to so much.
I mean, look, Castle Grayskull, you know what Dieter's like. You can't deny him either. You wanted to introduce him today.
Oh, it's just a man with so much charisma.
And Max Allen Collins, you got to love him too, right?
Not much hair.
Bald is sexy.
Okay.
Oh my God, you heard it. Look, you guys heard it. Well, Max and I have our hair. I'm just saying. But first of all, I also want to give a shout out to anyone who's going to the San Diego Comic-Con this year. Friday of Comic-Con, Max Allen Collins and I are doing a panel, a retrospective look at Max's life and career. We're going to talk. You can meet him in person. You can come down, bring your books. And Max doesn't know this, but the hotel that he's staying in is one, for me, it's my hometown. I'm going to drag him to the bar, and we're going to sit in the bar and get hammered and for hours. And you're going to come to the bar in the hotel, which will be announced later. Major Chai knows what's up. And we're going to go out, and Max Allen Collins and I are going to sit at the bar and regale everybody for hours at a time, which is what we always do at Comic-Con, but Max has never seen me do it, and he's going to be he's looking at me shocked, going, we didn't talk about this. No, but he's going to do it.
Max, train up, chop.
Yeah.
The expression on my face is just thinking about somebody who thinks they have to drag me to the bar.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm complicit in this, Rob.
Well, we're going to have a good time. And it's Friday at, I think, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I believe so. And I'm doing 3 panels. I'm a special guest, which I love. And I don't know when my autograph signings are, set. But if you bring your books, I'll sign them till they chase us out of the room.
Yeah. Well, no, they won't chase anyone out of the room. It's going to be great. We're going to have a good time. So Max Allen Collins and I will see you in a couple of weeks at the San Diego Comic-Con on Friday. It's the 23rd, something. I don't know. Whatever the Friday, the 23rd, the 24th is. Or wait, no, hang on. It's the 27th is Elizabeth's birthday, which is Sunday. So it's the 26th. It's 25th. Friday the 25th, right?
That is correct. I believe so.
Friday the 25th at 4 o'clock at SDCC. It will be my 37th Comic-Con, and I invite you all down. So, by the way, if Billy Moomy's going to be there.
Is he?
I don't know. If he is, he should show up because he plays Dr. Ronga in True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak. So,
do we know if Michael Rosenbaum is going to
I don't know. I got to talk to him. I've got to call him up, find out what's going on. Nathan Heller himself, the star of... Wait, hang on. The star of the movie that we're making next year, True Noir, Dying in the Post-War World, screenplay by Max Allen Collins, based on his novella. Of course, directed, edited, produced by myself. People might ask, well, when do you start shooting? I don't know. It's a mystery. If you're a Shakespeare in Love fan. Oh, no, we're just going to make it happen. We're going to will it into existence. We're going to have our people are going to watch White Devils and go, "Oh, you guys are great. What are you doing next?" We're doing True Noir, the assassination of Anton. Oh no, we already did that. We're doing True Noir, dying in the post-war world. It's our first Nathan Heller film, set in 1947, based on the real lipstick murders or lipstick killer murders. Look it up. It's David Fincher's Seven meets L.A. Confidential. I'm telling you, it's gonna.
I'd love to see that movie.
Well, I read that movie, and it's terrific, and I can't wait to direct it. So we're doing that.
Yes, we are. Now, I am wrapped up for today, but if you have anything that someone's written in and had a question...
well, let me check, Max. That's a thank you for... well, first of all, this is interesting. Professor Deng says, I am 200 pages into Robert Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land. Have you ever read the book? And if so, did you like it? The protagonist, Valentine, I would like to say Valentine Michael Smith, kind of reminded me of Dr. Manhattan from The Watchmen. That's the comment. First of all, I think I first heard the term free love in that book. I, as a kid, a burgeoning science fiction fan, fourth, fifth, I think I read, don't judge me, I think I read Stranger in a Strange Land in the 5th grade. I was 11, maybe. It was a little higher, perhaps, than I understood, but a really interesting book that has even more resonance now than it did back then. Max, have you read Stranger in a Strange Land?
I have indeed. A friend of mine who was sort of my Star Trek buddy. We used to always, at college...
I wish I had a Star Trek buddy.
I was commuting from my hometown, which is 30 miles from Iowa City, and I couldn't get home in time to see Star Trek, so we went to at a mutual friend's house where a bunch of us would watch the Star Trek every afternoon, and he was much more into science fiction than I was. I mean, I'm interested in science fiction, but that wasn't my deal,
Well,
and
no one's perfect.
I would listen to him, as to what he said. Well, I don't care. You should read this, and that was one of those books. And boy, I'm a big Starship. What is it?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah. I love that movie. Which is Heinlein.
Okay, here's a question. There's one. Wait, there are some questions for you. Hang on, let me go back up. Blackadder Not I says, I'd like to know Max's favorite James Ellroy. As I said before, mine so far is American Tabloid. Uh-oh. Here it comes. Wait. Oh, here it comes.
What I have to say is I do not badmouth other writers in my genre.
Okay, can I just...
That's about it.
Okay. I was in New York one year for the New York Book Fair, Festival of Books. They closed down, I don't know if it's Fifth Avenue, I don't remember. And they set up all these kiosks. And you walk down, and James Ellroy was there. And I have many of his books on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And I went up and talked to him, and he was very nice to me. Really delightful. And we talked a lot, and he was a really nice guy. I just want to say that.
Yeah, and I agree. We're very friendly when we run into each other, but I'm just not a fan. And I put that in context, as you know, Rob, because we've talked about this before. I don't read a lot of contemporary crime fiction because I don't really want to be influenced.
Right. Sure.
And I'm kind of a natural mimic. Now, I really like the film.
L.A. Confidential.
L.A. Confidential. I think that's
which, by the way, is not the book has a lot more going on in it.
It does, and I have read that book, and I have read a couple of things by him, and he's always been very, very kind and gracious to me. So I don't, I have nothing bad personally to say about him. He's just not one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I personally like American Tabloid. I did read it. I have the hardcover. I'm looking around. World in Pajamas, Tracy asks, wondering whether to publish through Audible only. Do you have anything to say about that?
You mean, well, we already aren't available through audio only.
But you are. Your books are available out there.
Yeah, I there's a couple of things that were ebooks, and we got the ebooks on Audible, and they did a good job. A company called Skyboat, which is an LA company, did a great job on them, and it was almost a precursor to what we did on True Noir, because it was one reader or two readers. I think there was a male reader and a female reader, and they did sound effects and things like that. Not to the degree that we did, but they tried to give it a little bit of an ambiance of what. So if you're walking through an aircraft plant, you'd hear the clanking and so on for a little while. And they did some music too. Again, True Noir is elaborate. I mean, it's the Citizen Kane of audio dramas.
I didn't say that. You said that. But you know what? You wrote it. It all began with you, man.
Now him I like.
well, it's funny. I mean, when it comes to True Noir, I thought when we first started the project, it'd be this fun thing to do. I could hire my actor friends. When I read your first script, I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. And that's when I called Christine Sheeks, our fellow producer who cast movies like Boogie Nights. And she worked with the Coen brothers casting their films. And I had to be like, no, your work. It's one thing to say, hey, man, because I'm like, let's go do this thing. It'll be awesome. It'll be great. Let's go. But when I read your script, I'm like, oh, no. I had to bring everything I knew to bear because this was A-list. And this is something you gave me a gift. So I had to give you a gift by bringing up the game to bring in all the people I knew to make this A-list. And,
well, I'm very proud of everything you and I did. We were very much collaborators on this. Let me just say this about Elroy. One of the problems I have with Elroy is that we're working the same side of the street. And I felt like a couple of times he would come to me and say, well, what are you thinking about doing? And I'd say, well, I'm going to do the Black Dahlia next. And he'd say, oh, that's interesting. And then there'd be this novel called The Black Dahlia, very successful. And I had to wait 10 years before I could write my Black Dahlia novel. So we're more into professional rivalry kind of area.
All right.
Have the competition.
Thomas Logan, our friend Thomas Logan, love Thomas. He's been a long-time supporter of this channel. He sends me videos whenever he's walking into a theater showing something in 70 millimeter. He's an iconoclast. I love him. Thomas Logan says, Max, what do you think of Alan Parker's Angel Heart? And can you discuss it? I think it's based on William Hortzberg's book Fallen Angel.
Yeah, I like that movie, and I like the book.
I love the movie. I love the movie. I've read the movie, and I've watched the book, Max.
Now you're in my novelization area.
There you go.
Read the movie. No, I haven't seen it for a long time, but I liked it.
It's fantastic. Well, I think that is it in terms of... Oh, wait. Major Chai says San Diego has a few speakeasy bars. We should go to one of those in honor of Max and True Noir. Well, we could, but that's a lot of walking.
Yeah, not my long suit.
So we'll make sure the Marriott Marina Hotel Bar. Oh, wait, did I say it? We're going to be there. By the way, Major Chai, I first met her last year at San Diego. We had so much fun together. It was great. Of course, I don't know if I'll have the company American Express card to buy everyone drinks this year. Well, we'll see. I don't know. But Max,
well, I want to say to Dieter, I'm going to leave now because over here at the C wing of the B&B Motel, we had a couple people check out early last night. If you know what I mean.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, and so I have some business to take care of over there. We're trying to remodel. We're hoping to become the C+ wing of the B&B motel.
Nice.
Well, Max.
One question, Max, from the live chat from last week. And it comes from Future Lex, and he wants to know, can you ask Max any tips on how to become a better writer?
Read. But a specific one would be take a favorite book of yours, maybe several favorite books of yours that you've read multiple times, and read it analytically. Look at it and say, where does the chapter begin and why? Why is this the first line? Why is this the last line? Why does it have this structure? And look at it from a mechanical point of view, and that'll teach you a lot.
Love it.
Nice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I guess that means we're going to say goodbye to Max Allen Collins. It's such a privilege to have you here, Max. Thank you so much. The insight you provide, especially on the Warner Archive titles. I love the fact that you've gravitated toward those because obviously George Felsenstein is doing such an amazing job. So it's great to be able to cover them. You know more about them than I do, so it's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and this is my favorite show on YouTube, and my two favorite people. So thank you for having me.
That's only because your wife loves Dieter. Your wife loves Dieter. That you have to watch his show. Come on.
No, I have to work to forgive Dieter for having that attraction to my wife. So I think it's yeah.
Well, Max, I will see you later, and we'll talk
soon.
Later. Thank you so much for bringing this, what you bring to the show. It's so great. It elevates the material.
You guys do a great job. You keep spending my money is what you keep doing.
Well, that's why we get subsidized for doing that.
When do I get my free box of Warner Archive discs?
And there you go. Max Allen Collins, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. That was amazing. And Max Allen Collins will be back next week, maybe. Everybody wants something. But God bless him. By the way, let's check in with Castle Grayskull. How you doing there? What do you think about being live on a show like this?
Oh, this is like so much fun. I mean, like, I just never thought that I would ever be given an opportunity to do this. So thank you once again, everybody.
Well, it's good to have you.
Thank you to Max. He's really awesome. He has a lot of good insights, so it's great.
You're not going anywhere. You're going to stick with us, right?
Sure. Are there any surprises coming up? Or what?
You never know on this show. I don't know. I have no idea. It's all up to Dieter.
Come on.
Oh man,
moving into the final.
We haven't even shown physical. We've shown like a couple of discs, dude.
Yeah, didn't get much more up. You know.
Oh, that's good.
It was a little bit. I'm glad that I saved some titles from last week.
Oh well, then you want to show some more?
I have two more to show, and we come to 88 films and Jackie Chan stuff. The first one is Crime Story. I remember it being a little bit more hard-edged, less comedy, but I haven't seen it in quite some time. So this is the back. As always, you can change the cover artwork to disc to, I would think, the original Hong Kong poster. So this is the 4K and the Blu-ray. Then we have some art cards here. So I think I remembered correctly, this being more of a hard-edged thriller without comedy stuff. So Crime Story. And of course, we put that aside. We have pretty thick book for it too. So always nice from 88. And the two poster artworks. So their new one and the original Hong Kong one. So
Pretty
Crime
dope,
Story
man. That's
from
pretty
Jackie.
dope.
And if I had to do a top 3, this is certainly in my top 3 from Jackie. Totally great that they put it out in 4K. Operation Condor, the second one. The Armor of God, one of my favorites. Of course, we have where it is on the cover artwork. Let me just check it as I saw it. Here. We can make it sharp here. This is one of my favorites, and there's a nice back on it. It comes with two versions. Actually, I don't know if Crime Story has different version. It has, of course, the usual Hong Kong one, and the Hong Kong one, they did a little bit of an hybrid audio mix. I haven't heard it because there are a lot of not Asian people in it, so they made a little bit of an hybrid audio with English and probably Cantonese, but only for the shorter version. So we have the 4K, So both versions gets a 4K and a Blu-ray. So this is actually a 4-disc set for one of my favorites. Of course, we get the booklet part, and we have the poster that we know, but actually this one has no art cards. But this is actually one of my favorites. The fight in the wind tunnel, legendary Jackie style. So these were the last two, Rob, from 88 films.
Those well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Don't you have I have to say a letter that we have? You read Paul's letter, but don't you have another letter?
No, Rob. I don't know.
What perhaps from Tim Hands.
I have no letter, Rob. He only sent me the pictures. He said, "This is my collection." I have no letter, Rob.
Oh, you have no letter. Okay. Well, then I'll get to that.
Letter.
I'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
I'll get to that soon. I then will. First of all, we have some other super chats that I would like to get to because this. Oh wait. We lost Max, but we got Major Chai. No, wait. I'm not. I'm ruining it all. Never mind. Hang on. So keeping everyone in suspense. We have more super chats that I have yet to get to. Let me get down to where it is. Get tickets for. Got that. That Dark Hierophant. Hierophant says Ennio Morricone did music for Danger Diabolic. Mike Patton covered Danger Diabolic. Alvaro mentioned that to me yesterday and was going to originally name his band Phantomas Diabolic. It's so funny that Alvaro and I were talking about that just yesterday at Bill Hunt's house. That is true, and apparently I need to go listen to his cover of Deep, Deep Down. You got to hear it. You'll know. Black Adder and I jumps in with a... Here it comes. What has better music between Airwolf and Blue Thunder? Also, have you read much Joe R. Lansdale? I love Joe R. Lansdale. I think the first book I ever read of his was The Drive-In, and I really wanted to make that movie. He also wrote a book called Dead in the West that I was involved in adapting. I'm a huge fan. Now he's become much bigger. I probably can't even... I love his crime books, and then he does stuff like Bubba Hotep and At the Drive-In, or just The Drive-In. Look, if I could have brought the Popcorn King to movie screens, it would have made me very, very happy. 200 Watt Studio says, did you guys get the Hammer 4K of Quatermass and Quatermass 2? The first box is fantastic, and the second just shipped. I bought them. I have not got them. I'm sure they waited. Maybe I will get a shipping notice. I did get something from Royal Mail. That might be from them, but it might be from Super Deluxe Edition. I don't know. But I did order both of those from Hammer. I can't wait to get those. Kevin Wellborn has been a member of the... Kelvin has been a member of this channel for 39 months. Thank you, Kelvin. I appreciate it. So, World in Pajamas says, more people are writing just for Audible only, and my friend has won an award for her debut book. Similar to your True Noir, thoughts on this new trend? Hey, man, Tracy, I love it. I can't wait to do more. I had so much fun making this. And it was kind of a solitary thing. I work with actors and everybody, but I spent months by myself just sitting right where I'm sitting now, just working till the wee hours of the morning for months. I loved doing it. World in Pajamas says, wondering whether to publish through Audible only. Well, no. I mean, I would say go through there are platforms like Spreaker and other platforms that will allow you, when you publish your book, it'll put it on all the platforms. I don't know if they'll do it on Audible, but I would, spread your book out as far as it can go. Walter Whitewalker says, traded my Jurassic World ticket for F1. The Kidman ad made it feel like an actual sequel to Days of Thunder. Though no Jurassic World, I did get my T-Foot T-Rex footprint bucket. Well, that's good, because, man, let me tell you. You needed that. Oh, this makes me sad. Blackadder, not I.
Yeah.
Blackadder. Here's what Blackadder says. I watched Life Force for the very first time on the Arrow 4K. I watched the theatrical cut.
You have to go back.
First of all, the fact that this is coming in, it looks like it's English pounds, right? Or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's English pounds.
The theatrical cut is the American version. Your theatrical cut is the international version, which is like 20 minutes longer. It's infinitely better. First of all, I'll even tell you, Life Force is very much an acquired taste. Patrick Stewart's first on-screen kiss with a dude. The international version it's one of my don't call it a director's cut because it was actually released in theaters. The international version is way better, but because you have the Arrow 4K, you have the only place where you can get the international version in 4K. It is I mean, look, for me to be saying anything is better about Life Force, I understand. But remember, everything is done at scale. And if you're watching Life Force, the only version to watch, there's no, well, I really prefer Dieter Bastian. What version of Aliens do you prefer, Dieter?
The theatrical version.
There you go. And there's an argument to be made that by seeing what happened at Hadley's Hope in the director's cut, it ruins the suspense of when the Space Marines finally get to LV-426. I can see that.
But considering Life Force, there is no discussion.
There is no discussion. No one's sitting there going, well, I prefer the theatrical version. No, you don't. No, you don't. And if you do prefer the theatrical version, like Blackadder and I, you've only seen the theatrical version. I wish I could have. Call me up next time. Seriously, I'll send you my number. Give me a buzz. I'll send you my WhatsApp, whatever. If you need advice before you sit down, because that Life Force version from Arrow is getting a little scarce. A lot of people can't get it. Only go for the international version of Life Force. Agent Silver Fox says... Wait, go ahead.
Rob, was it through the different distributions that the American version was different?
No, well, you know what? I think you're probably right. To be honest, I would have to look into that, but distribution was probably different. Yeah. Yes. It was, and I think like the Japanese got our American theatrical version. But the Japanese did the best artwork for Life Force, by far. So, Agent Silver Fox says, I have been drinking for hours. Invite this Scotsman, please. Okay. Agent Silver Fox, I'm going to defer to Castle Grayskull. Do you think that we should allow a Scotsman, Agent Silver Fox, hey, he might be somebody you like, has been drinking for hours. Do you think that we should invite this Scotsman on the show? Is that a good idea?
Well, I mean, it can make things really interesting, so why not?
Wow, I love the fact that you said that. Because on this show, what is the answer, Dieter?
Always yes.
Always yes. And by the way, Castle Grayskull, you knew it. You said it right away. Cat in the bag. Well, okay, but the thing is, if I put out the link on the live chat, I don't know if our Scotsman would be the first person. I can't tell if it's Agent Silver Fox. You know what? Since you are here and since you said it could be more interesting, I feel I have to do what you tell me.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the reasons, one of the perks about being here. You know, you get some perks, and so I'm going to say that. All right, you know, I mean, far be it for me. It's a holiday weekend in the United States. We want some fireworks. We want some fireworks. So, Agent Silver Fox, let me just make sure that I got the top chat. Okay, this goes out to Agent Silver Fox. And by the way, if you're not him,
Major Chai too. No?
She hasn't. No, I did. Maybe I sent her something. Who knows? If this isn't you, don't use it. All right, I'm sending Agent Silver Fox. Here it is. I sent the link. So, by the way, Agent Silver Fox, if you're not 3 sheets to the wind, please use Chrome as your browser. And by the way, this is all about you. You know what, Castle Grayskull? If it doesn't work out, I blame you, which is great. I love having plausible deniability. It's kind of like in Clear and Present Danger. It's like, you don't have one of these, do you, Jack? Get out of jail free card. Anyway, Dieter, where the hell are we? Wait a second. Let me see.
Newsroom.
I know I got tons more to show, dude. I got more to show.
Okay,
bro. Hang on.
I'm through with my stuff.
You're through. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm just trying to find out. I'm just looking for more. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone's super chats or anything like that. No, I haven't even talked to Dave. I don't even know what the hell. Okay, you want me to call? I'll call him. You want me to call him? Okay, wait, hang on a second. So I'm gonna call him. He might not pick up. I don't know what he's doing, but you know what? On this show, because clearly, Castle Grayskull wants me to call Dave Parker. She does. So I'm gonna you guys. This is totally rando. This is very Robservations late night. I'm gonna call Dave Parker. Hang on. Hold on. Just okay. Here we go. Let's see if he's around. Maybe he's watching the show. He'll know.
Mamma mia.
Calling him. I'm not showing anyone his phone number.
Or at least I could say hi, you know, whatever.
He might not pick up.
It's okay. At least we tried.
What's up, Rob?
Dave, how you doing, buddy?
Okay.
So I'm live on our Let's Get Physical Media show.
Okay.
And I've got Castle Grayskull from Montreal, who I promised her she could be on the show, and she wants to meet you. She has a fixation on you, and she's delightful. And I thought, she's like, why don't you call Dave Parker? I said, okay, but I can't guarantee we'll come on the show. The director of The Hills Run Red, the director of The Dead Hate the Living.
I'm not at home.
Oh, you're not at home?
No, I'm not near my computer. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, do you have anything to say to a big fan like Castle Grayskull, who finds you to be, like, she thinks you're sexy as hell? And
thank you very much, and I hope she's having a good time on your show.
She's turning totally bright red. She's live on right now. She's having a good time in the show. I had her introduce Dieter.
Nice.
She's fanning herself. She's verklempt.
It's okay. Tell her I'll watch the replay.
Well, what she really wants to know is what can she watch of you? Midnight Metal. There you go. Well, she's watched Midnight Metal and she's become a fan. She's enamored.
No,
She lives in Montreal, dude, where they have Fantasia.
I know.
There you go.
I know this.
Well, where are you? Are you doing something fun right now?
No, I'm just out for a walk.
Oh, you're out for a walk. Well, if you
stopped right now.
Well, if you come home, I'll let you continue walking. But if you I'll send you a link, and if you get home at any time, we'll probably be on for another hour. But no pressure.
Yeah. If I'm back in time, I'll hit you up and let you know.
Hit me up, buddy. Good to talk to you. Happy 4th of July weekend.
You too.
All right. She says bye. Look, she's a smile on this girl's face. She lights up her room. I'm telling you.
That's great, Phil. I will talk to you later on.
Yes, you will. All right. There you go.
Bye.
See you, Dave. Thanks for answering. Well, there you go. There was Dave Parker. I don't even know what to say.
In the live chat, they say there are some audio issues. I don't know what exactly.
Probably were. I don't know what to say either.
Rob, your mother, the audio is muted for us all. Okay.
Is it? You know what? I might have hit
what's
that.
About the sound, guys?
Yeah. I think you can hear the sound now. It's fine. I think I hit something. I apologize. Okay. I apologize. You know who else? I just got to say, just because. I mean, because why not? It's a free-for-all today. Do you know who is also here? Major Chai Chai. Major Chai Chai is on the show. There she is. With her knitted Death Star crocheted. Come on. Amazing. How's it going, Major?
All right, yourself. Hang on, I gotta mute some stuff because I got multiple voices.
All right, I'm gonna put you on ice for a minute, only because we're going. So, Dieter, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay,
before I bring in Major Chai Chai, I'm going to show some physical media because that's what this show is about. And Kino Lorber, I got some stuff to show. First of all, Kino Lorber, again, they send like the old school. They sent me this. Dames and Dreams. Dames and Dreams. Now, let me just say what it says on the front of this. An orgy of crime, danger, and sex. Let me read the back. It's a super sexy 70s film. 4 wild, willing, and wanton ladies are read their fortunes at a swinging 70s Hollywood revel. They tangle in every way with cons, cheats, and corrupt cops, brandishing sex as their weapon. When reality ends, no idea what that means, and their bare fantasies are just beginning, hot girls and super cool 70s backdrops erupt in an orgy of danger and sexual intrigue in this lost sexploitation artifact unseen before and now fully restored after nearly half a century. This is why Kino Lorber fucking rules. Okay? That's on DVD. Sent that. And then it's always a theme with them. Bonjour triste, or triste. I mean, looks like my future right there. I have no idea what this is about. Captures the wonder of an adolescent summer, a remarkable adaptation. Hey. Well, there you go. Okay, hang on. What is this? Tell me what this is.
That's written tristesse. It's sadness.
Sadness?
Yes.
I don't see any sadness on this cover. I'm just saying. Oh, man. Okay, well, I don't know. But that's what they sent me. So, that's some great stuff. Then we have another from their Cohen Media Group, As Soothing as Sipping a Freshly Brewed Cup, from the director of Timbuktu, Black Tea. Have no idea what this is. I can't pronounce the name. The brilliant director of Timbuktu from 2014 comes the gorgeous, globe-hopping romance Black Tea after saying no on her wedding day. You know you married the wrong girl when she says no on your wedding day. And by the way, you should already know that she's going to say no, so that was bad on your part. Aya runs away from the Ivory Coast for a new life in the buzzing chocolate city of Guangzhou, China. In the district where the African diaspora meets Chinese culture, she gets hired in a tea boutique owned by Kai, a Chinese man. In the secrecy of the back shop, Kai decides to initiate Aya into the secrets of the tea ceremony. Wow, this is an interracial tea ceremony movie. I'm in. Count me in. I'm in. Then we have exclusive Fred MacMurray. This is a film from 1937 with Fred MacMurray and Frances Farmer, who, of course, Jessica Lange played in the movie Frances. I haven't seen this, but they sent it to me, which is cool. Then we have Wild Parrots on Telegraph Hill, a documentary about wild parrots. I'll watch that. That's why I love Kino Lorber. You never know what they're going to say. And then here we got a Susanna York, Superman's mom, Stanley Baker, and Stuart Whitman in the sands of the Kalahari. Now, this is interesting because 1965, it's got audio commentary by Howard Berger from K&B, which is cool. Now, you know, Dieter, I love Kino Lorber's Kino cult titles.
Yeah.
They've got a blaxploitation movie called The Sugar Hill.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that artwork.
Nice.
Now, not as nice as what this movie's about. When mobsters kill the owner of the exotic Club Haiti, girlfriend Diana Sugar Hill calls upon a voodoo priestess, Moana Matrize, to enact justice. Together, they summon the Lord of the Underworld, Baron Samedi, who was also in Live and Let Die. Baron Samedi, who resurrects from the bayou a squad of silver-eyed, cobwebbed zombies to perform Diana's bidding. Okay. Have you ever heard of a better premise for a movie than Sugar Hill? I'm in.
Question is why isn't it featured in the blaxploitation books? Is it not an MGM?
Well, they didn't have the rights, but let me go on.
Okay.
Released by American International Pictures in the hopes of repeating the success of Blackula, Sugar Hill has overshadowed its blaxploitation horror predecessor and become a grindhouse classic. Sporting a new low-cut white jumpsuit and crowned with an iconic afro, Marky Bay's Sugar is an unforgettable figure of, I kid you not, it says this, Revenge-O-Matic. Revenge-O-Matic cinema. We talk about Revenge-O-Matic cinema. You know, rape and Revenge-O-Matic. I guess that's a new word I've never read. Marky Bay's Sugar is an unforgettable figure of Revenge-O-Matic cinema, growing increasingly diabolical and bloodthirsty as she carries out her elaborate and uncompromising vengeance. What's not to love?
There you go.
This is Kino Cult Title 32. Never seen it. Very excited. Then we have one of the great westerns of all time, or, you know, call it what you want, George Stevens, Shane in 4K. Shane in 4K. Oh, my God. You know, Jack Schaefer. This has Alan Ladd, Gene Arthur, Van Heflin, and, of course, Jack Palance. Shane. All good. And then you showed it. You have it right behind you. I did get the Jaws 50th anniversary steelbook. Got that. Haven't opened it yet. And then finally, this is such a weird title. I ordered this when it originally came out from Arrow, and then it just like vanished. I pre-ordered it. Amazon didn't send it to me. So I would assume this came out in America, but Arrow has been re-releasing American Gigolo. They put it out. Witness. Peter Weir's Witness. Nice. I finally got the box set of this. Don't know. I mean, this is the British release. and it finally showed up. I don't know what happened to my American release.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
strange that some titles get an UK release, sometimes an American, and sometimes both.
I ordered it; it just disappeared, and so that is my that's my haul for this week.
Nice one.
So there you go. Now let me just cut back to Major Chai Chai. She has something to show us, don't you?
Oh, okay, yeah. Hang on, just a sec.
Okay, so all of you know Major Chai Chai. Wait, are you excited about seeing your big sister on this show?
Absolutely. It's so exciting.
I don't know. Now I have to put you in the same frame, which is problematic for me, but okay, I'll try and figure it out.
I
so
absolutely adore Major Chai Chai.
well, here you go. What Major Chai Chai has been doing something crazy. What have you been doing, Major?
I've been making stars.
Oh, now that is not a breast. That is not a nipple. That is a weapon of mass destruction. You're crocheting. Tell the folks at home, what is that?
Well, it's a crochet Death Star. It's not finished yet. It's incomplete. Hopefully the rebels don't blow this one up.
Wow, that's really big.
And so this is the third one I've made.
Wow, that's more than in Star Wars canon. They never got a third Death Star.
Yeah. The Emperor should have hired me. I could have popped these out. We had, Death Stars all over the place before the rebels knew anything about it.
So how much work does this represent?
This is probably a day, like 8 to 10 hours.
Wow. Now, where's the exhaust port we can destroy that from?
Let's see. That is going to be... Actually, I stuck it right under the super laser, but...
Oh, there you go. Okay. The fact that you know where it is, that's very impressive.
Because this is the scene. That's why, I don't know.
So what are we going to do with this when it's done? Are you going to keep it? You're going to auction it off for charity? What are you going to do? Oh, look at that. Okay.
So this is the completed one I have. Totally different yarn. We will auction these off. I have 2 more to make. One about the size of a basketball, and then the big one is going to be made, started here shortly.
Wow, and how big is the big one going to be?
Well, if the scaling is right, probably about the size of a beanbag chair. So
oh my God.
We'll see as we get started.
Wow. Dieter, how do you feel about that? Would you like to have a giant Death Star beanbag chair in your house?
I have probably not a room for a big bean Death Star here. Floating around. In parts, as Rob's Aston Martin.
So the first Death Star that I showed you is actually filled with memory foam, which the memory foam came vacuumed down. So that may be how I can ship it. Is I do vacuum seal it and it folds flat, and then we mail it. The other 2 are fiber fills, so I don't know how the vacuum packing would affect it.
Wow, amazing. Well, listen, ladies, we if we don't get rid of you both, we will never finish this show. And so Major Chai Chai, Castle Gray Skull, I want to thank you both for being here. Thanks for being on the show together, and the 2 of you are great. Now, Castle Gray Skull, you will not be at Comic-Con, but Major Chai Chai, you will be at Comic-Con.
Yes, I will be.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know. But I want to say goodbye to both of you because we got to finish the news and all this. But I want to thank Major Chai Chai. First of all, Castle Grayskull, you did great today. I know you were nervous.
Thank you.
You were awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And Major Chai Chai, thank you for showing the Death Stars. We will have you both back. We'll have you both back. So it'll be great. And then we've got, there we go. So, ladies, look, I 86'd her from the channel.
Brutal.
Brutal. I feel bad. But, they know I love them both. Major Chai Chai will do that. So, Dieter, let's get back to this show already in progress.
Yeah.
What was the show we're doing? It's called Let's Get Physical Media. Right.
If we are caught up with super chats, I think we can do the news if you have some.
We can do the news. We can do news is great. Let's start out with here we go, Dietz.
Yes.
The Night of
Yes.
the Living Dead coming out from Sony. This is the remake, so George Romero could reclaim the rights. Directed by Tom Savini, starring the great Tony Todd. This is the color remake from 1990 of Night of the Living Dead, but this is the uncut version we've never seen before. You sent me a great version of this that came in a video box.
Correct.
So this is really
like a videotape. Like a VHS tape.
Yeah, are you excited about this?
Totally.
Me too. Like,
because I quite enjoyed Tom Savini's remake.
Oh, me too. And to see a version we've never before seen.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. Let me see. This is coming out on September 23rd. Let me just read some of the things. Okay. A new 4K restoration of the two versions of the film. The uncensored cut, supervised by director Tom Savini. The uncensored cut restores moments of graphic violence and delivers an alternate vision of this horror classic. It doesn't say in terms of...
That's what I want to hear, Rob.
That's what I want to hear too. That's like a girl talking dirty to me. Love it. Amazing. Fantastic. So there you go. And again, coming out in September.
Rob, what they are meaning with third party ad content here on the picture? Ad content?
Well, they've got new Dolby Vision, they have new interviews. Maybe that's third party content. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff.
Just wondering about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Then we got the 25th anniversary of Aaron Brockovich coming out. I mean, another Julia Roberts. I can't believe this movie's 25 years old, but there you go. And then we come to Scream Factory. Their partnership with Oliver Stone continues with James Woods and Salvador. I really love this movie. I mean, they got the Alexander Ultimate Cut that just came out. They've got this, amazing. Mama with Jessica Chastain coming out on 4K. And then we've got Ouija. That is also, in a steelbook.
Unfortunately, not the sequel, Rob. I would have preferred the sequel.
Yeah, I know. This is not the greatest thing in the world. Samurai Resurrection, the first of their Golden Princess titles coming out. Very exciting. Then we got a Halloween steelbook. How many times has this come out on home video? 10,000, but it's coming out again. Steelbook, Halloween 2. By the way, this is still the best sequel to Halloween. I don't care. Come at me, bro. And then we've got The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. I think I really love this movie a lot. I think it's very, very good. It's coming out again on Blu-ray. So that's I guess exciting if you don't already have it. Now, here's something that to be honest, I really don't know what this is, but it's called My Life as a Zucchini. And, depending on what girls do in their private life, being a zucchini could actually prove to be something pretty great if you know what I'm talking about, and I know you do. So anyway, and then, of course, what we decided the title of the show would be, Sweethearts, Peking Opera Blues, one of the most famous and most celebrated Hong Kong films ever made. Bridget Lin from Police Story, Sherry Chung, and Sally Ye light up the screen in this fast-paced and sparkling action comedy from director Sui Hark, who directed Once Upon a Time in China, Twin Dragons, and Double Team. In the aftermath of China's first democratic revolution, 3 high-spirited young women from very different backgrounds cross paths on a quest for liberation. Fate finds the 3 joining forces to discover their respective warriors within, elegantly blending action, comedy, and social satire into a bright and colorful production, much like the Peking opera itself. Peking Opera Blues boasts Hark's energetic filmmaking style at the height of his powers, along with the considerable charms of its 3 leads, and remains an acclaimed classic of Hong Kong cinema. This is a new 4K restoration. I've owned this movie in other iterations.
Is this a Golden Princess title, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
nice.
I believe it is. And I think I don't know if I think it is. I mean, this is one of the greatest. It's part of their deal with them. It's one of the greatest Hong Kong films ever made. So there you go. Then we have another one of these. Who Wants to Kill Jesse? These titles that come from I don't know where they come from, but you know they're interesting. Second Run is the British label that puts these out. I think these are Czech films, Czechoslovakian.
Yeah.
This is from 1966. From the director of 3 Wishes for Cinderella, Václav Vorček's Who Wants to Kill Jesse is a delightfully demented, absurdist 1966 comic book fantasy that is unlike anything else in the Czech New Wave. It presages the DC and Marvel universes by several decades. A scientist creates a serum designed to calm the dreams of restless cows, but tests it out on her husband, who has been dreaming about the adventures of a comic book heroine named Jessie. Disaster ensues when the drug causes the characters from her husband's dreams to manifest in the real world. I mean, come on, dude. Who doesn't want to see that? I want to see that.
I'm a little bit hesitant, Rob. You know why?
Why?
Because of the just 12 certificate.
Oh, well, not everything. Okay. If you don't like that 12 certificate, our next film is, of course, Too Soon, Too Often, Anita, the Swedish Nymphette. New label. I kid you not. This is the name of the label. It's from a new label called Club Super 8. Brings to Blu-ray Wickman's Anita. This is from 1973, starring Christina Lundberg from Thriller: A Cruel Picture. And you know who else is in this? Stellan Skarsgård. I kid you not. Anita, a teenage nymphomaniac who feels compelled to seduce every man she meets, students, hippies, businessmen, and bums, after being rescued from a particularly dirty old man by a psychology student, played by a young Stellan Skarsgård decades before he starred in Hollywood films like Pirates of the Caribbean. He also played a similar character in Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac. He attempts to uncover the causes of Anita's aberrant behavior. Directed by one of Sweden's most significant sexploitation filmmakers, Torgny Wickman? For real? That's his name? This cult classic uses a serious study of nymphomania as a pretext for scorching eroticism. Presented in a new 4K restoration of its original Swedish version, as well as a new K scan of Les Impures, the French theatrical version, a different edit featuring an abundance of exclusive sex and nudity. It's a 2-disc set. Hey, what's not to love? 70s bush porn at its finest. I'll get it. Uzumaki, a steelbook of a new version of Uzumaki from 2024. Viz Media is putting this out. Looks like a black and white version of Spiral, for those of you who don't know. I mean, there you go. Uzumaki. Then we've got Taika Waititi's Boy coming out. Kino Lorber are putting this out from 2010. So that's coming out later this year. And then, of course, we have coming at us from Imprint Wolf Creek, the 20th anniversary of Wolf Creek, a new version in 4K, limited edition hardbook. I mean, if you want this, or hard case, there you go. Then we've got Dig, documentary coming from Oscilloscope about 2 I think, what would you call them? You would call them Sundance Was Rocked by Dig. Andy Chamor's genre-bending rockumentary about 2 Gen X bands and their journey to alt-rock glory. So that's cool. Oscilloscope always puts out really interesting stuff, so they're putting out that. Then we're getting from Cinematograph, we're getting We're No Angels with Sean Penn and Robert De Niro and Demi Moore. So if you want to get that, get that. If it's like the Golden Child, don't get it. We Are What We Are, a cannibal movie from 2010. Hey, what's not to love about this? We're getting it. It's coming out.
New release.
New release.
A new re-release.
A new re-release. IFC will bring this as George Grau's We Are What We Are. And this comes out August 26th. And it's a new version with new audio commentaries. A family drama morphs into a potent, disturbing vision of horror in this shocking, bloody, and deeply moving first feature. When its patriarch drops dead in the street, a devastated Mexican clan turns to the eldest son to provide for it by hunting human flesh. You had me at hello. So there you go. And then we've got HUD. If you're a fan of Romeo's Bleeding, you know that Juliette Lewis talks to one of our favorite actors about HUD. So if you know, that would be Gary Oldman. So HUD is coming out from Imprint in a nice box set. There you go. Then we've got Love Camp coming from Jess Franco, a famous Jess Franco movie. I mean, who doesn't want Love Camp? Delirium Home Video is putting this out. And Jess Franco's Love Camp from 1977, the same year that The Spy Who Loved Me and Star Wars came out. Jess Franco's sleazy masterpiece. In an unknown South American hellhole, a guerrilla army violently kidnaps sexually mature women and forces them to serve as personal prostitutes and sexual tools in their private jungle brothel. You know, if you were to try to make this today, you'd get canceled. But because it's from the 1970s, it's history. I love it. Then we've got Mac and Me coming out.
Historical documents, Rob.
I know, right? Mac and Me, Vinegar Syndrome's talking about, look, Vinegar Syndrome, you got to step up your game, all right? Let me tell you. You know how many people want Mac and Me in 4K? There's 5 of them. And that's it.
Exactly.
I don't know
I'm
why
not
you
one
want
of those 5.
No, I'm not either. Come on, Vinegar Syndrome, what are you doing? Then you got Dario Argento's The Card Player. I understand, but these are not great. And then the Rage Carry 2. They're putting all these out in 4K. There's many Paramount titles you can raid that are better than these. And then maybe Yon Grey Monster from the Deep is coming out in 4K. But look at this. Vinegar Syndrome. Mac and Me, we love Vinegar Syndrome. How about, can I make a plea?
Yeah.
Liquid Sky and Body Melt in 4K. Please. More people would buy both of those titles than they'd buy Mac and Me, and you've already put them out. Where is my Liquid Sky 4K? I think it came out in Germany in 4K, but, you know, come on.
I'm not sure.
Can we get it?
Okay.
Mac and Me. Come on, you guys. Really? And then we've got Tropic of Desire. Gail Palmer's Tropic of Desire. You know, I don't even know what to say, but okay. I'll watch it. And then
that's a new one.
Mezzalune or whatever. Take Off. Hollywood Takes It All Off. You know, 70s Bush porn. I love it. And then we've, of course, got the 40-year-old version 20th anniversary 2K. Come on. Or 4K. It's a 4K, not a 2K. Can you believe that? 20 years, man. I totally buy this. I love this movie. It's very funny. Then we got this is a new movie. I don't usually cover new movies, but it's coming out. You know, no one saw it. The Unholy Trinity with Pierce Brosnan and Sam Jackson. And then we've got Teenage Gang Debs, another Bush porn title. If you don't love it, it's coming out from AGFA, and it's preparing a Blu-ray release of Sandy N. Johnson's Teenage Deb Gangs from 1966. It's not Bush. This is not Bush porn. I'm sorry. Shot guerrilla style in the shadows of Brooklyn, Teenage Gang Debs combines the template of Freaks with the blueprint for Hairspray to forge the most essential juvenile delinquent gutter noir that ever was. With its cinema verite fight scenes, gang leaders who wear cardigan sweaters, and refreshing flip of gender roles and exploitation, this something weird classic feels like what would happen if the Shangri-Las stopped singing Leader of the Pack and started stabbing punks with switchblades. All right, I'm in. Count me in. I'll buy this. Yes. Then we've got A Chinese ghost story trilogy coming out. Hey, what's not to love about that? And that is coming out from Shout Factory. And, of course, is that a Golden Princess release? Probably, but it's coming out.
Princess, yeah.
Then Dakota. This is a wacky movie. Cult Epics is preparing a Blu-ray release of Wim Wepperstappen's Dakota. Never heard of this movie, but they're putting it out. And a Dutch pilot. It's from Holland, so you're guaranteed to see Bush. A Dutch pilot with some real passion for flying risks everything to keep his DC-3 Dakota plane in the air when getting involved with contraband. Attention to flight detail and the beautiful backdrop of the Caribbean and co-stars Monique Van de Ven. Oh, we guaranteed to see Bush, and she's got a great one. And Wilke van Amer, whatever his friend, I don't even know, make the seldom seen, much-loved Dutch classic worth watching. The last Scorpio film directed by Wim Wepperstappen, with cinematography by Jan de Bont, the man who shot Die Hard and Basic Instinct, and Theo van de Sande, was recently rediscovered as a Dutch masterwork of cinema. Maybe this won't have sex in it, but maybe it should. I don't know. That's too bad, but Monique Van de Ven. And then we got 2 Peter Sellers titles coming out from Studio Canal. And they are Two-Way Stretch from 1960 and Heavens Above from 1963. And then this last one also coming out from Oscilloscope. It's a weird movie called Vulcanizadora. And this seems like one friend. This is the trailer. They have the trailer. It's very odd. 2 friends trudge through a Michigan forest with the intention of following through on a disturbing pact. Once their plan goes shockingly awry, the haunting consequences of their failure can't stay hidden long enough. It's Oscilloscope, so why not buy it? Now we come to the charts. Top-selling Blu-ray discs. Number 1, A Working Man. Number 2, Looney Tunes Collector Volume 1 from Warner Archive. Number
Jaws.
2.
Jaws is number 1, Rob.
Oh, did I? You're right. I forgot. I couldn't see it. Jaws is number 1. The Jaws.
No, you probably only saw that's a new entry. So
it's true.
A Working Man has week 1. So you're
right. You're absolutely right. Jaws is number 1. Obviously, the Jaws is, of course, the 50th anniversary version.
Yeah.
You know, we got this, of course, the, you've got in the background, I have this 50th anniversary. Number 1 on the charts with a bullet. That's very exciting. Blu-ray and 4K. Jurassic Park Trilogy with Dieter already showed. Captain America Brave New World at number 5. Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 is number 6. The Day the Earth Blew Up, A Looney Tunes Adventure is number 7. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is number 8. And Dan to Dan, whatever that is, I don't even know. Number 1, Season 1. And Wicked.
Anime show.
It's anime. There you go. And the 4K, let's go to 4K. Jaws is number 1. Jurassic Park Trilogy number 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Captain America Brave New World number 4. Working Man. Sabrina. From Kino Lorber. You go. Of course, that was, they remade that with Harrison Ford. Gladiator 2 is still in the charts, number 7. Contagion. Oh my God, a new release. By the way, how great is that movie? Warner Brothers, I love that film. You get to see Gwyneth Paltrow's face peeled off in that movie. Deep Star 6. People, there's no accounting for taste, but I'm happy Kino Lorber's making money. And Kingdom of Heaven, number 10. From 20th Century. That is all the news that is fit to print, Deets. There you go.
Nice. The only title that you forgot, Rob, that I'm looking forward to are my Baby Assassins number 3. Baby Assassins number 3. In August.
Well, there you go. All
right. So Rob, you can take a break, or do we do the super chats that came in first?
Well, let's see if there's super chats that came in first, and then you can go to your favorite part of the show. There's actually a lot of super chats here. Okay. Hold on. Let me just refresh. Get them all in there.
Yeah, Das Vengeance says, Den da Den is anime.
Yes.
And I think, Rob, it was in the top 10 last week in the box office. This could be a kind of Demon Slayer thing, where they put 2 or 3 episodes together as a movie,
Yeah.
for combining season, as a bridge.
No, 100%.
Could be.
Darth Vengeant says there's a Tron 8K full restoration screening the other night coming this fall to physical. Discuss. Well, I mean, I spent a year of my life making a documentary on the making of Tron. If it comes out in 4K on disc, I mean, the 70mm version of Tron's extraordinary. It looks amazing. No other movie looks like it. I'd love to have seen that 8K restoration. I would really hope they did include it on the Blu-ray, that they upscaled. I did make a feature-length documentary that I directed and edited with Rob Cipriano that was out on the 20th anniversary DVD, and then they re-popped it on the Blu-ray. I love Tron. It is an artifact, certainly a part of. It's going to look incredible. I mean, the movie looks incredible, so I can't wait to see it. Blackadder Not I says, I already said about Life Force. Louis Feliciano says, rest in peace, Julian McMahon. What storyline was Fantastic Four based on? I think it was just in general. Also, Fantastic Four in 2005 turns 20 in 2 days. That's crazy. Yeah, I love Nip Tuck. Nip Tuck is one of the great TV shows of all time. Julian McMahon was so good in that show, and he died at 56 from cancer. That was really shitty. I can't believe Julian McMahon is no longer with us, and I'm still kicking around. That doesn't seem fair. Darth Plato says Peking and Beijing are different names for the same city. Yes. But Peking Opera Blues is a period piece, so it makes sense. Castle Grayskull says, thanks for having me on. It was amazing. Ecto1701, I'm glad. How great was it to have Castle Grayskull on?
Nice.
Pretty nice.
Nicely done.
She did a great job. Thanks for being here, Grace. Ecto1701 says, have you seen Sandman Season 2? I've not watched it yet, even though I watched the first 5 minutes of Season of Mists. Can't wait to see it. I'm going to watch it probably tonight.
Okay.
Louis Feliciano says, Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer 4Ks. Who knows? I mean, those are Fox titles. Are they going to release those in the support? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea what they would do. I mean,
nice double feature. That would be nice. Just to make a nice double feature also. Or both.
Yeah, it's a bizarre. It really is strange. And then we do have a tip from Stubble McShave says, I missed this one. I missed this one for Max. Question for Max. Have you seen or read any of... Max, I know you're probably still watching. This comes from Stubble McShave. Have you seen or read any of the newer Swedish crime noir novels, shows, or books? Examples would be The Bridge, which is a Danish co-production, or the Beck and Wallander movies or books. There's a lot of, obviously, that noir, that noir from that area of the world is becoming very popular. Obviously, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I think, probably kicked that off, but it's good stuff. I'm sorry I didn't see that, Stubble, before then.
Aren't there, considering The Bridge, aren't there different versions?
I mean, but I think
or a remake?
Because we remade it here, and
something like that.
I'll be curious what Max has to say about that. Well, I guess we are at your favorite part of the show, the live chat, Dietz. I turn it over to you.
You can take a break, and I say hi, Gambit, in the live chat. Okay, previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Anthony Lopez, I spent way too much money on the Barnes & Noble's 50% off Criterion sale. Yeah, Anthony, but they were all Schnäppchen, so it balances out, hopefully. Bad Weather. F1 was great, seen it twice in 4DX. Okay. Paul and Burnett, Dieter's back, Cult Cinema 83, Dietz in the house, and Apocalypse Cow. The King is back, and Kevin Welburn. Great to see Dieter's back. It's always nice to be missed. And Dark Hawkmark says, Dieter was off filming a Serbian film, part 2. I wasn't. Paul and Bonotto, Invisible Raptor looks hilarious. And it is, and it's certainly more enjoyable, even if I haven't seen it, as probably Jurassic World Rebirth. Professor Deng, there's no way Jurassic World Rebirth can be worse than Dominion, the last one. Paul and Brunotto, Vampire Dinosaurs, I'll buy that for $1. Cult Cinema says, I thought the creator was okay, but I loved Godzilla from Gareth Edwards. Merely, considering the dinosaurs, I want dinosaurs on roller skates. Timens, I want to see space dinosaurs too, Rob. And Marco, I want to see dinosaurs getting regular jobs. They should, so they didn't show up in the street. Big Dis Energy. If I saw a dragon outside of my house, I would be concerned. Albion, considering F1, lots of cheating from Sonny Hayes. Exactly. And they let that slide, you know. And then later he gets pissed, when Pierce pushed him out. Oh, what have you done? What have you done? Unbelievable. Merely, I don't agree with either. I love Sonny the character. Yeah, he's a douche, Rick Alfonso. I like Free Check and that Mick Jagger was in it. I don't care about motorsports at all. And Marco, if they used BMW transmission in an F1 race, nobody would finish. Is that a dig at my job, perhaps? I have no idea. Professor Deng, people complained about the length of F1 because it almost 3 hours, but the movie went by really fast. Merely, Dieter, F1 could have done a better job explaining the rules of the sport. The rules of the sport, you do qualifying, then you get position, considering the time, then the emblem, the emblem goes to green, and you race and try to get first. So that are the rules. Merely, totally with you on that one. F1 need a few girls in thongs. Just saying. Albindal, my brother was a big fan in the 80s. I then cared a little bit for Formula One. I was a fan of Gilles Villeneuve. I remember him too. Perhaps I love his movies nowadays because of that. I think that's another Villeneuve, but I could be wrong. Perhaps it is the same. Professor Deng, is Karate Kid Legends even worth watching? If you're a fan of the franchise, I would say, yeah, give it a watch. It's quick, 90 minutes, flies by pretty easily. Tim Hens didn't like the first Megan, so doubt I will enjoy the sequel either. Yeah, Tim, but the sequel is what I hear, very different type of movie. So perhaps for you, the sequel could actually work. Played out. RMB going anime crazy. Yeah, I started his recommendation, Pluto. Really enjoying it. Kevin Wellburn. Liam Neeson has a certain set of driving skills. Yeah, Kevin, totally right. Because there was this movie, Ice Road, popping up, and I thought, why is Ice Road popping up all over again? Because I didn't even realize it was a sequel to Ice Road. Unbelievable that they made a sequel to that one. Some Bones, Film Emporium, getting the standard edition for my birthday, considering the Sean Connery box set. Love Bond since I was 4. I hope we now get the Roger Moore set and the rest. Played out. Picking a favorite Bond for me is Sophie's Choice. It certainly is. Rob showed it last week and said it's a great movie. Planet 628, Blackback is phenomenal. The Alex Orber just got home from Formula One, F1. What a great IMAX experience. And the Alex Orber goes on. The Bond set is awesome. I disliked the steelbook art at first, but it grew on me instantly. Loved my Connery Bond set. Marseille, Atomic Blonde, I think is probably a better Bond movie than some of the recent ones. I thought Theron was badass in that. Totally agree, Marseille. Major Chai, considering F1. The only problem I had with the movie is that I wanted to hear more of the engine. Major Chai, you and I park our shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay. It was too much commenting. Let me hear the roar of the engines. Future Lex. Okay, this was the question for Max that Max answered, how you get a better rider. And we had last week came a super chat in that asked us, gun to the head, only one day to live, your favorite or last movies that you would watch. And Walter Whitewalker, Rob's would be, your last movies, Rob, would be The Goonies, The Last Crusade, Star Trek 209, and Return of the Jedi. That would actually be your last movies.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Do you want me to turn it up?
It goes on. No Money G. Come on, Rob. You know it would be the Section 31 movie. Valerian Winterdrake. His last movies are Star Wars: A New Hope, Aliens, Idiocracy, North by Northwest, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Fellowship of the Ring. Uncle Jimmy. First Blood, Stand By Me, Magnolia, and Goodfellas. Starting Fire. This was truly amazing live stream. I love the conversation. I want to invest in this movie. Love the passion. I actually know what he means by I love to invest in this movie. Perhaps Rob's dying in a post-war world. Perhaps could be. Played out.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's a serious thing, I mean, we're obviously it's an expensive. Yeah. It's an expensive.
I don't know
movie,
if he is referring to that one. I want to invest in this movie. He said. Okay.
I don't know.
Love the
I mean,
passion.
that's an interesting question to have. I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Then, by the way, the script is really, really good.
Yeah. As expected, chop Max. Played out. The Coffee Table, very rewatchable. Yeah, certainly. Tim Hens, bring back one of the sending James Bond on a mission and don't make them serialized. Uncle Jimmy, IMB, I watched your show, passed out, woke, and you were still on. Yeah, that's what you get with Rob. The Burnettwork, he wanted to have a 24/7, which didn't quite get there, but sometimes you can at least get a taste of it when you goes off. Rob is live, and then you wake up. Oh, Rob is still live. That's a good thing with Rob's shows. You can easily take a nap and wake up as if nothing has happened. He's still live. Mieli, Jurassic Park 2 and 3 are not good either. Pardon? I love the sequel. Albedal, you showed Rob in the new section Lost in Space, the 4K from Arrow, which will come out. Lost in Space was one of the first DVDs back in the day. Yeah, I remember
it was.
Like I said, Rob, how often I resented the opening because of the 5.1 track. And Kim Stinson, Gary Oldman's Dr. Smith, saves it for me. Okay.
You know what? He is really good, but that movie is not. It's not a good movie.
Yeah. Rob, perhaps you can help Mark out. I didn't see an answer to that in the live chat itself. He asked us, Albion, does anyone know the movie where a group of friends go out to sea in a yacht and forget to drop the ladders and can climb back aboard? Been searching for months. Do you know what there's such kind of movie, Rob? Where they forget to put the ladders down from the yacht and then can get back to the ship?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Is that
Sorry, Mark.
I'm not sure.
He's looking for the title of the movie. Sorry, Mark.
It seems like it's like Deep Water 2 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
He doesn't remember, and I didn't see anyone in the live chat could answer him. Uncle Jimmy, I need that the purple disc set. Me too. I'm waiting. Bill Barkley, Bloodlines ending was odd. No, it finished like Final Destination movies should end. Miele, I wonder if Dieter knows that his last name is an X-Men villain. It's always great to be a villain. That's why I can forgive or would say Fuba is slightly okay because there was a bad guy in it that was called Dieter. Shogun, his voice kind of sounds like Arnold. What are you talking about? BCH, Fuba is pretty bad. Actually is. Masu Zain, Rob, you should have played a character in True Noir. $1 million voice, baby. But Rob, I think you did some background stuff. Or am I wrong?
My voice is absolutely in True Noir. You know who I play?
There you go.
I play the albino assassin. You.
There you go.
There you go.
So he is in.
I
so
could
little
have
Hitchcock
played
moment
this.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got you now. I as a matter of fact, you heard me in the clip I played at the beginning of this show.
Okay. There you go, Master say. Bill Barclay. By the way, how long was F1? It felt like a long movie. For some, certainly it does. A little bit Bond played out. Quantum is okay, in my opinion. And Jonas Tiger says, I like how hard-edged Bond is in Quantum of Solace. And Bill Barclay, Neeson in Ice Road sequel. Yeah, I was totally surprised. Wait, that is a sequel? I was confused because Ice Road was popping up again. Miele, Dieter is perfect, but Max is a great addition. Justin Toner, I have enjoyed Max's contribution to the show. Secular Monk, Max is great, but Dieter is the ultimate trash panda, irreplaceable. Brian Knight, if people are offering gift memberships, how does anyone get it? And Jurassic Joy answered him, YouTube does it randomly based on channel engagement. So there's not really, as far as I know, if someone gives a gift membership, he can't pick and choose. It's randomly selected on your engagement in something like the live chat. Miele, we need a meet and greet with Dieter in the USA. See, perhaps at some point we can make that happen. Danzig, 1979. Wonder if Dieter has thought about a separate stream on the channel. Can't get enough of these. Once in a week should be enough. And played out, considering Castle Grayskull was on here. Played out said 30 minutes last week because we wanted to get her in the last second last week. Played out said 30 minutes. Are you Beyonce? And that was the live chat from last week.
Well, Dietz, we forgot about our good friend Tim Hands.
Yeah, totally. Because he did send me some pictures of his collection.
And you sent those pictures.
No letter. He just sent me pictures. Here's
no
my
letter,
collection.
and we encourage. I mean, the one of the great attributes, as if I can call it great, of this channel of the Burnettwork, Robservations, Let's Get Physical Media. It's all about the audience. It's all about interacting with you guys, not just being cynical through super chats and tips and memberships, but also engagement. People write me letters. People send pictures, and on this show, we encourage people to send photos of their physical media collections. And, of course, sometimes you can butter me up, like Tim Hands did. He sent us 8 pictures of his physical, and look what he leads with. He's a smart man. Aw, yeah. The 4K Director's Edition box set from the UK that has more swag than the American version. Tim Hands knows what's up. He knows that how can I resist not showing his collection when he does that? Then he gives this. Look at that. He follows up with more Star Trek. More Star Trek, the Enterprise set that I did special features for. I didn't work on the original series, but there they are. Such great discs. Go Tim Hands. Then we see more of these. Look at that. TV shows, The Pacific.
Yeah. Band of Brothers.
And then look at this. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This is how I imagine your apartment looks like, just off camera.
No, even that, but more messier. More messier.
Oh, no. I don't want to. But look at this. We get deeper and deeper into the man's psychology the more he shows. You go, Tim Hands. Look at that. And they're all British. And then look at this. Close Encounters, Apocalypse Now, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future. Some good stuff. Look at that. Great titles. And then we get to here. TV shows, British shows. I mean, a lot of people, more TV shows. Good stuff. And then finally, we come to this 24. Wait, why'd you stop?
24, yeah.
Why'd you stop at 24? You got the Lord of. By the way, I worked on those Lord of the Rings discs. Look at that, those DVDs. I love. You know what? I love the DVD versions of this.
Sets.
They were great sets because they look like books. Michael Pellerin and the whole team at New Line spent so much time. I think more thought was put into between Peter Jackson, between New Line, between our company and Michael Pellerin, my boss. more love was put into those volumes of Lord of the Rings than just about any other physical media ever. Really great stuff.
I remember, Rob, when the first Lord of the Rings came out on DVD, not your set because the extended came later, just a normal German version. I bought 16 to give because there were so many people who wanted one. You know, I bought 16. You know, and over the day, everyone came to pick up their copy. You know,
wow.
But nobody meet. It was
You're
always
like the pusher of Saarbrücken. Yeah, the pusher.
Yeah.
Well,
that's how big DVD was actually, Rob. You know,
it was amazing. I mean, that takes us to the end of the show. Where do you want to take us now? Are we doing some trivia? Are we going to just go home? It's been 3 hours.
If you want, Rob, I have the cards here.
I don't know, man. I mean, I've been, you know, giving me Dagger of the Mind, giving me like the Mark of Gideon. You know,
there's still a lot left, Rob.
A lot left.
Perhaps I can help you out.
Yeah, it's a Man Trap. Very first episode aired.
Okay. So my right and wrong.
Oh man.
List and I need some
guys keeping
lights.
Score.
Okay.
Shit.
Of course I keep score, Rob.
Hey, look on when I'm dead, I want you to put the score on my tombstone. I mean, I want for those of you who don't know,
you have to live a long time, Rob.
This is a film joke, but this is what I want on my tombstone. He lived in CinemaScope. He died flat. So I'm just gonna say, you know, if you know,
but
you know.
It looks not that bad, Rob. Right? You know, we can choose, and only those were the wrong ones. So pretty good, actually, I would say. So, multiple choice is the middle part. So, Rob, here we go. Nancy's creator nickname for Dr. McCoy.
I should know this. I need multiple choice.
Okay, A, Honey Bun, B, Plum, C, Lenny.
It's Plum.
Plum is correct. So I make a line, Rob, here at multiple choice. Who was Nancy Crater's husband?
Dr. Crater, Professor Crater. You know.
They want the first name, Rob.
Okay, the multiple choice.
Leonard Crater, Robert Crater, Roger Crater.
Robert Crater.
Robert Crater, correct, Rob. Multiple choice. Who did Nancy Crater and her husband study on planet M113? What? Sorry, Rob. Not who. What did Nancy Crater and her husband study on planet M?
I mean, I would say history, archaeology, botany. I mean, they study a bunch of different things. Okay, I have to ask again. Multiple choice. What do they want?
Multiple choice. A. Ruins of an ancient civilization. B. Quasar-like phenomena. C. Reactions of Starfleet personnel to stress.
No, number one. An ancient civilization.
Number one. Correct, Rob.
Yeah.
Ruins of... Correct. Fourth. What caused the death of several Enterprise crew members on planet M113? What caused?
The lack of salt in their bloodstream, or the lack of salt. The salt was removed from their bodies.
Correct, Rob. That is correct. It says here, an alien that depleted their bodies of salt. And the last one, Rob. What killed Nancy Crater on planet M113?
The salt vampire? You know, that's
correct, Rob. It's actually the same.
Yeah.
A life form that needed salt to.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of. By the way, watching it's one of the great television monsters of all time. Not the first. Yeah, not the first Star Trek episode to be shot, certainly, but the iconic salt vampire monster, which is a sad figure. By the way, this is why modern Star Trek sucks so bad. The fact that they turned the Gorn, a noble race protecting itself, into their big bad. Can I just talk about how horrible modern Star Trek is? I mean, I was watching. I watched 9 episodes of Foundation, and I just wished that the people like Jane. By the way, do you know who the MVP of Foundation season 3 is? Roxanne Dawson, who directed, I think, 4 episodes, who played B'Elanna Torres in Voyager. That woman deserves a fucking Emmy Award. Her direction of Foundation episodes was beautiful.
She's become a director, Rob?
Oh yeah, man. Not only has she become a director, I would say she's like Mimi Leader was directing for ER. You know, the first season episode of ER, Love's Labor Lost, and then Mimi Leader went on to direct. Or wait, where is it? Well, I don't have it. The Peacemaker. Deep Impact and Pay It Forward. I mean, Mimi Leader got derailed, but she is one of the great. I mean, her use of Steadicam, Roxanne Dawson's direction in Foundation season 3 is sublime. I mean, shout out to Roxanne, because not only do I have an action figure of B'Elanna Torres from X06, she is an amazing television director. And when you watch her episodes of Foundation season 3, I mean, next level. Somebody give that woman a feature. You heard it here first. She's like today's Mimi Leader. I don't mean to compare and contrast just because they're female directors. Her sense of emotion and empathy and what she does with the camera, and there are sequences in season 3 of Foundation that she is responsible for that are amazing. Amazing. And I think that Roxanne Dawson, give that woman a feature. Give it to her right now, and she will deliver something special, because her work on Foundation season 3 is exemplary. I was blown away. And as we were watching, we're like, oh, it's Roxanne Dawson doing. She's an executive producer of the show, but her work, and it gets, I believe it's all in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. You go, Roxanne, because Roxanne, you don't have to act on the screen anymore. You can direct TV like the masters that never came before. I don't even know what I just said. Roxanne. She's a great director. That's why you tune into this show. How many people would sing the praises of a director of the Foundation? I mean, the Foundation is so great. Foundation is such a great show. And all it does is everything on Apple, even that horrible invasion show, the most boring invasion show ever. For All Mankind and Foundation, I watch these shows and it makes me want to stick a gun in my mouth when I look at the trailer for Strange New World season 3. My God, have Akiva Goldsman and what a wasted opportunity for talentless hack writers that have turned Spock into some autistic, neurodivergent, activist bullshit. I fucking hate modern Star Trek so much. And when you watch, I'm sorry, what was this show about? I'll tell you. Oh, wait.
Mostly physical media.
I have lots of modern I have lots of Star Trek on physical media. I will never buy any of the swill that has come out since 2017. The people that made all of those shows also made Section 31, the most brain-dead, ridiculous, Z-grade bullshit I've ever seen, made by, I'm sorry, I don't care. Anybody who made that show, you know what? You fucked up on every level. On a writing level, you made Michelle Yeoh look bad. All of you deserve to answer, and you will in the afterlife. There is a special circle of hell for everyone who's ruined Star Trek. You know what? Dante, they're going to actually reissue a new book, a new version of the Inferno, and they're adding a circle to hell, people that wrote modern Star Trek. And they're at the lowest level. I'm just saying. I mean, oh my God. When you watch, it just makes me sad because people should take responsibility. It's like Maximus.
I have good news, Rob. It will be the last season of Strange World.
No, we're getting 5 seasons. Five.
Isn't it the fifth one already?
No, it's the third. We haven't even seen the third, which is the death. It's parody. It's the death of Star Trek. They have a great cast that they're squandering because people don't know how to write science fiction. All they know how to do is write riffs on their own pop culture sense memory. These motherfuckers never watched Star Trek. They're like reading BuzzFeed's, like Michelle Paradise. She's just like, oh, this is all about the patriarchy. God, don't get me started. Wait, what was I talking about? God, but I'm watching Foundation. I am enthralled by the writing. And by the way, you want to show how to have a diverse cast? You look at The Expanse. You look at Foundation. Everyone else is like, let's show we're diverse. No, you're diverse at the second grade level, you numbnuts fucking showrunners. You suck. I hate everything you've done. You've ruined a franchise. You've destroyed an asset of Paramount's, which is the reason they had to settle with the Trump administration over fucking 60 Minutes. Bad Star Trek. I'm going to blame Star Trek, bad Star Trek for everything. You want to know everything wrong with America? I've said this since 2009. J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek is what started the decline of America. You cast a Russian actor who is a native-speaking Russian, and you saddle him with a ridiculous Russian accent, and you turn it into a joke where the ship's computer cannot understand his Russian. Who does this? Who does this? You know who does this? Idiots. Enemies of the state. Enemies of intellect. People that never read science fiction. People that have destroyed Star Trek. Sorry, what was the show about? You know what? Pardon me. Let me go back to Tim Hand's his wait. Look. See? This is what we need.
Better days.
This is what we need. This is people that aspired to more, that looked to the stars and said yes. They knew, they understood. I don't know what happened to my beloved Star Trek. But this is on 4K, so,
So, Rob, before we go out, since I always write your coattail, I did a little bit of a clip out from the John Campea show. And considering the spoiler talk, and I did a little bit of a poll in the comment section of that, what you said from the spoiler talk. And I gave options, because it was on the John Campea show that talked about what is a spoiler, what is considered a spoiler, and Rob gave a great analogy about Empire Strikes Back, the two major plot twists about Yoda being the Jedi Master, and of course Darth Vader, which got ruined through the prequels if you now watch it from the beginning, from the prequels. And it was such a great thing that I skipped it out, and I put a poll with description, and I gave 3 options. It says the 3 options were, considering what Rob told us, it needed to stay tight. The second one, everyone who cares knows by now. And the third one was, enough time has passed to allow it, so to allow the prequels to happen. And Rob, there were, at the part, when I clipped it out, 63 responses, and actually, Rob, it's totally equally. So 33% to it needed to stay timeless, 33% everyone who enough time has passed to allow it. But it was a great clip. Spoiler talk.
Well, I want to thank you, my friend, for watching.
The poll will be a little bit different.
Well, I want to thank you for clipping that out. That was hilarious that you clipped that out of me. You know, it's
you
funny.
were hilarious.
Well, you know,
it was awesome.
You asked me about the John Campea show.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people,
if you did get a preparation for it of the,
yeah.
the topics that you will discuss.
Like I really love, like, John Campea puts a lot of work into his show. You know, and one of the reasons I've been streaming with him for 10 years. And I know that John Campea is not everyone's cup of tea. But what or as I like to say, maybe I'm not the jam in your jar, you know, whatever. One of the things I really love about John's show is he brings, unlike myself, he brings a structure to his show, and he actually thinks about it and sets it up, and it's sponsored. And so before I go on to his show,
it is the best looking show, Rob. Best looking and the best.
Yeah, and John makes sure his cameras and his audios. It's one of the best produced YouTube shows, I think, on the web, and it's more like an Entertainment Tonight. And so for me, you'd ask me, so how it works is he looks up so our show goes on at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. I leave. I make coffee here's my morning. I make coffee I get up usually at like 7 o'clock because the dogs are barking or whatever. Yeah. And I get up at 7 a.m. and I usually go to bed at like 2 or 3. So I get up at 7 a.m. and I get up because there's things to watch, things to read, things to do. So I get up at like 7:30, and the dogs are barking. I try and get up before the dogs bark. They're like, "Oh, dude, you gotta feed us." So I get up and feed the dogs, make the coffee, because Elizabeth, you know, she says it's my love language when I bring her coffee with the zhuzhs, the cinnamon and the cream that she likes. So, and then I'm gone. I get in the car at 10 a.m. and then drive. It takes me about 45 minutes to drive to John's. And I talk to Mike Bodden. I call him up in the morning. If he's available, he answers the phone. If he's not, he's not. And then during that drive time between 10 o'clock and 10:45, John figures out what the show is going to be. So he creates a thumbnail early on, and then he sends me topics. And then I don't usually see them before I get to his studio at 10:45. And at 10:45, I sit down. Jonathan makes sure the cameras are focused and the sound is all good. And so when we go live at 11 o'clock, and what I do is sometimes I give a cursory glance to the titles, because I don't want to know what they are, because then I overthink it. I like to be live. I like to...
In the moment.
Because that's the spontaneity. And the same is true like with the letters that I get on Robservations. I'll read the title, and then I might read like the first paragraph, but I don't want to read the letter in its entirety. Sometimes that has been a bad thing, but I don't want to read the letter in its entirety before I'm live, because then you can't see. For me, I want to be effective. There's been times people have written letters that I've almost cried at reading. And I don't want to lose that. I mean, when I read somebody's letter, I want the honesty of what they're saying to affect me live on the air. And so I don't think, you asked me, do I think about these things? And that particular instance about spoilers, until we were live...
It looked like, it was like, Rob, that you had that on your mind, ready to go.
Well, no, because I saw what we were coming up to, and I was thinking about spoilers, and I was thinking about it in terms of modern spoilers. By the way, this week is James Gunn's Superman. I don't know if it's opening. Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing it on Tuesday, on the 8th, and then I'm taking Elizabeth on the 10th.
Probably I will have to wait until the weekend, until I see it.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've been more interested in seeing a film as much as I am, not necessarily just because it's about Superman, but because of the tone, the polarization of fans. I mean, I think this movie is going to cause a seismic shift in the fan community, because the tone of it, this is diametrically opposed to the way that some fans want to see Superman. It's whimsical. And I'm really curious as to how people are going to receive this. And I'm really curious how I'm going to feel about it. You know, people are like,
Yeah.
I'm a James Gunn shill. I'm not shilling for anyone. I'm always trying to explain why I'm interested in something. I really wanted Jurassic World Rebirth to be great. And I didn't love it. I was surprised a movie that begins saying, well, you know, dinosaurs, we're over them. You know, they're living in... I'm like... And John said something really interesting. He said, if I saw an elephant walk down the street, in front of my street, I would walk out. I've seen elephants my whole life, but if I saw an elephant on my street, I would be filled with awe and wonder. And Jurassic World Rebirth starts out with the one remaining dinosaur in New York who escaped, is caught under a bridge, and they're trying to... And people don't even give a fuck. And I'm like... You killed my... If your movie doesn't have a sense of awe and wonder... If you're making a dinosaur movie where human beings are interacting with dinosaurs, there must be, at least from my perspective, there must be an underlying idea that there is awe and wonder. You can't be like, we're bored of dinosaurs. You know, I mean, okay, maybe. But we aren't. No one is going to ever be bored of dinosaurs. I can watch 10,000 cat videos and be enchanted by them. I never go, I'm bored of cat videos. No, you show me a cat video, I'll fucking watch it if it's good. Dog videos, same thing. There's a YouTube channel, some guy like cooks steaks for his dogs, and the camera's like here, and you see the thing.
I saw something on Instagram.
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Where the
dogs sit there and wait and he cooks.
Yes, that's stuff. Yeah,
it's like dog mukbang videos. I mean, I'll fucking watch them. If there's 10,000 of them, they never do not entertain me. To watch dogs look and like wait to eat, I'll watch them. Mukbang videos, dog mukbang, they're always going to be good. Dinosaur movies, my whole life, whether it's Godzilla, whether it's the Valley of the Gwangi, whether it's the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, I don't care. Show me a giant...
If we are just okay, so just quick, Rob. Considering Superman is opening, we start with the box office. Our show, let's go with the box office. Throw the ball back to you, my friend. Your prediction for Superman next week, domestic intake for the 3-day weekend. Me neither, Rob. Me neither. Yeah.